Papa.
Yeah, you can introduce yourself.
Yeah, well, I think everybody basically know me. I live a lot of places. I live in my lifetime. I live Woodville, Kinfield, Road, so and I run Kawat everywhere. Yes, and I run. You check, I tell you, and I run Kawat everywhere. I perform a song. Maybe most people would remember that it was in Demu Junior time.
Yeah.
That
was in what, 1990 what, 93?
Boy, my
no man, earlier than that, boy.
I was 7 years now.
That was earlier than that, around 88. I was around 88 or so, 85 or so.
I can't remember it.
Somewhere there, I think government here, I can remember that, you know.
Yeah, man.
A while back, boy.
I wouldn't go further than there. By now, I think everybody should know. Yeah, well, I can very well see my peers, when I go to school within SMP, standing up for a cause, speaking truth to power, and not throw my support behind them. Because the rights, the things that they have stood up for are things that we enjoy every day. Well, as far as we are allowed to enjoy them, because we all know the place we live in and how everything is running. But before I don't know, we have people we can roll now because
we on, you know, brother.
So we have people there already.
We on, brother. We on.
So before I just want to touch on
don't big up
before you see we go, because Pyro, you know, you have your, you know. So tonight I want to really touch on justice and what is the condition of the black man. You know, why we are in the position that we are in, because you cannot very well address a thing without you finding out the root cause, or you looking at what brought us to that place, you know. But historically, black man has never been given their right or their dignity or their humanity because it was seen as the right thing to do. It has always been a means to an end when it comes to bargaining for our freedoms and our human dignity. You know? So if you look at right there in the Caribbean, you have the example of Haiti, who not too long ago stopped paying France for loss of human assets being slaves. So right here in this century, we had France still collecting money from slavery, and yet still we believe that we are really free, that, you know. Now I see all that to come back to justice, because you have to understand, justice is like a skill. That's why they have that blind effigy of a woman carrying the skills of justice, because justice is perceived as a balance. Now, whenever you have a balance, you're talking about balance, you're talking about reconciliation. So that means that in order for it to balance, it have to have something on the other side of the scale to level it. Now, let us look back at the case of Haiti. We have this issue about the Haitians going to Guadeloupe, you know, backdoor, using Dominica as a stepping stone, and so on. If a man break into your mother house, take all your riches, all your wealth, and when you're hungry and your stomach hurting you, what's the first thing that coming on your mind? Where's the first place you're thinking to go?
Police station.
Police station.
Not a violation.
I think it's only natural that the Haitians will try to make it to French territory because all of Haiti's wealth has been plundered by France.
By France, yeah.
You understand?
For sure.
Now, that is to say,
I love the discussion.
justice, you see, justice, it don't matter how long it taking for justice for the scales of justice to balance. But in order to have peace, for it to have that balance, it must have justice.
Well, yeah, it's natural. It's the laws of nature. Because if somebody violates you, obviously they're going to stay on your mind.
Yeah.
And until you don't get some form of reward, of retribution,
Yeah.
it's only natural. It's man and man that come to understanding, and man does allow and leave certain things go, you know. But then it have things that when you cross the line, because everybody have a limit to check. And when you reach the limit, it's like once you break that limit, you have to have some level of retribution in check. So it's just like the present situation.
I prefer reconciliation.
Well,
because you see, retribution implies wrath.
Because it's just like if a man rob you and you take him,
Yeah.
you tell the police going to take him to the court and the court going to cast a judgment on him.
That's what it is.
Yes.
So when the court give him the punishment,
That's why I tell him the police, you know, the first
retribution.
thing.
Yes.
it's like whether find some man might find they might take the laws into their own hands and deal with the matter by themselves. But at the end of the day, without that system or that level of satisfaction, you're always going to have an unbalance, you're always going to have a war. You check it, them things going to always bring conflict. Yeah, it's always going to have a conflict because one set of people going to feel for one person, whether it be one individual or a group of people, whatever it may be, they're going to feel like they have been wrong.
Yeah, man. You're going to feel
And they
aggrieved.
have been taken,
Yes.
advantage of, you check. So in that regard, obviously they're going to seek it's just the natural being of man to seek.
Justice.
Yeah.
To seek
Whether
balance.
we call it justice, whether we call it vengeance, retribution, basically it's all the same, you know. Because if somebody wrong you and they cross the line, they go past the limit. Because a man can do your thing and you can check like, okay, that ain't nothing. You check.
Yeah.
But everybody have a limit. You check me. And when you break that limit, yeah, it's war.
The cup can only take certain amount, you know.
Yeah.
You put it under the
Yeah,
pipe.
brother Bob tell you carry the bucket to the well every day. One day the bottom must drop out.
Must.
It's
How
only
much you kill and
natural.
hold, man?
But you see, the thing about it is, Pyro, in Dominica, people tend to interpret silence like justice, or they asking for peace when really they asking for silence. Because if you don't have justice,
Well, I feel
Well, there can
cannot have peace.
there can never be peace
you know
without
what I
justice.
think
You
the
understand?
problem, I believe Dominica now have a problem in
Justice
terms
is the problem, is the solution to the problem, you know.
of- Yes,
Check.
because you need the balance.
Yeah, justice is the problem. Is the
Because
solution
that
to
is one of the
problem.
problems with the society. So when you see now, take for instance, all what has been happening in the country for years and years and years, that is self man, it's not a two-day come problem.
nope.
So for years and
No.
years and years, you're seeing
Yeah, man.
kids going to court. But everybody know the truth. Because watch that. Take for instance, Skerrit and his French citizenship. Skerrit publicly admitted to being a French citizen. Huh? Yet still the court will tell you,
No ID.
no, because he did not present his French passport. They could not determine that he's a French citizen. But the man publicly stated.
Yeah,
No.
what he do is he invoke his constitutional protection, which was convenient for him at the time. But,
Yes, but
but
what
can
I'm saying-
we invoke our constitutional protections?
What I'm saying is that the people knows, everybody knows Skerrit is a French citizen, huh? But yet still the court will come around and tell you, yeah, he didn't have there was no evidence to back it up. The judge,
As the same court over there is background control.
yeah. I think
And the
during
magistrate said you shouldn't bring the passport to the case.
I don't know what they say in the case, like I
Well, the
really
basic
tell
thing
you.
was the simple of that case was the magistrate, the judge, the magistrate deny the opposition members the call for making Skerrit present his passport.
Yeah,
They
something
did not
like that.
compel him,
They didn't compel
and
him.
then he plead against self-incrimination, basically
Right.
saying that he cannot
cannot
present
evidence.
evidence to incriminate his own self.
But that was the judge was supposed to be compelled him to present.
But that is
that
nonsense.
evidence.
The evidence is the evidence, and it's a case you're dealing with. And it again is people of that's supposed to
No.
be of high standing.
No,
They
Pyro.
calling them men honorable.
Yeah,
So
And they call the magistrate lordship.
yeah.
So I
honorable
mean-
and lord meant to tell lies.
what you know, let's get to the essence of it. Basically, is yeah, it is the entire society knows that the man is a French citizen. He has admitted publicly. Yet still, the court would deny the judgment, or even to allow the
The truth.
evidence
No.
to surface. No. In that regard, you have that creates an unbalance in the society. That alone in itself, the check, because there's no justice. It haven't got no.
Because it
truth.
eroding the people's
Yes, because
faith
exactly.
in the institution that responsible for dispensing justice.
Voila.
Now that bringing me now to the police now, Pyro. We live in a society where the people that are authorized to use violence, let us put away that word force, because all you like to use that pretty word force. The only people you authorized to use force, no. The only people authorized to use violence are the police. You know why? Because violence is like a fire. If you send in a man to apprehend a murderer, a man that already take out man's head and take out man's parts, what you sending him to apprehend that man with? A bouquet of flowers? You arming that man and you authorizing him to use brutal force, even deadly force. No. Me as a citizen born into your society and governed by your constitution, this means that I have surrendered my God given, well, not completely, because the constitution allows a man to defend himself and his property. But the law is in place to carry out these things, because if a man offend me and I go and I act against him, the law will pick me up and they will say I should have come to them for them to seek justice for me. Hold on, Pyro, let me finish. Now, if I give up, if I vest that interest in a man, and the man clearly showing to me that he cannot fulfill the oath that he swore to do, what is a civilian left to do when there is no faith in the institutions responsible for justice? And I gonna go further, you know. I gonna give you an experience. By right, I'll give you. I just want to. You check. We have a foreign national employing Dominicans. I was one of them. I work for this man, and at the end of the project, I present this man with my bill. The man look at my bill and telling me what I do for him, he don't find it worth that. So he going to pay me X amount of what I ask him for. So I check in, but wait a while now. So here I go to my lawyer, and I let her understand what the situation is, and I let her know what I have decided to do. And mind you, at the time, yeah, I could have gone feral then. I could have go and do any mad thing. But I choose to go and collect the computer that I was working on and put it back in my car, confiscate it basically, and then report to the police station, because I know that is the first thing that this foreign national will do, is to call the police on me. So I went to the police station and explained the situation to them. And you know what the police tell me? That basically I steal the man thing in his place. So rather than come as an intermediary and try to resolve the conflict, the police had already made their judgment. You understand? So even when simple things within the community can be resolved amicably, the police failing. You know, we have in Dominica the court of public opinion. So people like Slobby and people maybe like me too, we cannot get justice because of all the opinion of us. But an Indian man will show up on our shores, and all lawyers in Dominica will show up to guarantee his human rights. Right? The same rights that all you deny Slobby, and all you will maybe deny any man on the road, because all you figure is the V-neck.
How many of them not talk and say that it's injustice?
How many?
All
of us go and drink.
How many of them talk and say that injustice against the Indian man for not getting, for not seeing nothing?
No, on the same Indian man. You know this, you know, as I go in along, I learn, you know. Because just as that was happening, They were stuck off a thing they call it rendition on the social media. Now I being a newbie, I don't know about that. I go and find out what that is. Rendition is when two states, one jurisdiction, kidnap and transport a person to another jurisdiction where human rights are not basically, you know, like it's nothing to violate human rights, you know, so that they can torture you for information, you know. How many people understand those things? That those things could be happening right in front of our face, and we don't know.
Every day too.
But I don't want to hijack the.
Nah, man,
you know.
you sharing your thoughts, you know, brother, after all. Nah. We do every Monday, you know. We thanks for the strength, you know.
Yeah, man.
You don't
Because
know
it's
already. Big up to all the viewers.
It's real thing, brother.
Kalai on board tonight. Kalai up and the Kalai says Miguel Butler. I don't know already.
So yeah, the court of public opinion in Dominica is why we cannot get justice.
They're always watching it already.
Because in our community we just know who doing this, who doing what.
I don't think it's the court of public opinion that causes the lack of justice. Because the lack of justice is most of it is the judiciary system. And if we have a corrupt judiciary system, then we have a problem. And that is part of the problem. We have a corrupt system. So the politicians corrupted, the judges corrupted. And it's just like this statement we released today on the news, and in this statement we could say, well, yeah, we have a president that wants a member of parliament to be a president, which the constitution clearly telling you cannot come from being a member of parliament and become president. But yet still, the system allows it to happen. The judiciary sit down, said nothing about it. We have how many judges in Dominica, in the OECS, in CARICOM, CCG. I mean, even if the society don't understand what it is, but there is a branch of government that's supposed to be able, but not supposed to be, that they're capable and fully intelligent enough to understand what it is. So we have the judiciary system, the judiciary branch of government.
But the judiciary will claim that nobody will bring a case for them to.
Nobody don't have to bring a case. It's their responsibility. They took up oaths to safeguard certain things.
Courts.
Huh?
Courts.
Yeah.
Yes, the entire
police,
judiciary system, the police.
Yeah.
The police, all of them.
They swear by that oath. No, you see, and that is a part.
Remember, the same way we as citizens have a civic responsibility to our duties as patriots to our country. Is the same way the people that sit in the judiciary, they have a civic duty also.
Yeah, man.
So when they negate that civic duty,
free reign for them.
I mean, you don't have to wait for someone. Somebody have to bring a case and say, well, yeah, the president illegal. You as a responsible judge, you can bring up the.
Yeah.
You're supposed to have you have the authority and you have the state of mind for you to be able to bring up the conversation.
The constitution.
You have to have the moral fiber. That's what you call it. Moral fiber.
And that is what I'm saying.
So they never speak except
That's what I'm saying.
But we have no understanding of a man's moral fiber. You check me. Those things there. The only fiber we know about is coconut fiber. So when you talk about a man's moral fiber, we don't know about that.
A lot of
You check.
So, them things, we really have to look at that because we have a judiciary system and we have how many judges, Dominican-born judges, my brother. some of them man with ex-police officers. We have lawyers. Huh?
Ex-police officers and worse.
We have retired
No,
judges.
seriously.
We have retired judges.
So
we
you
have
put in your family,
So if I'm
Mr. Richard.
So hear that?
magistrate.
If
Or you talking about those ex-police
If
that
you
is
swear.
magistrate?
Magistrates.
Okay.
Reject. Hold on a sec. So you have to look at them things, reject, because the judiciary don't have to wait on nobody to bring a case to it.
right,
They have a civic responsibility, they have a responsibility to society, they have a responsibility to their profession. Reject. They are the heads of what the system supposed to be.
yep.
It's they that really enforcing what it is, you know. So if the judiciary could sit by and allow and not say nothing, not do nothing, not take no action, not even come out and speak about it or start the conversation or something like that, and just sit by and allow the constitution to be trampled upon. The judiciary, the branch of government known as the judiciary, has negated their responsibility to society.
Well, yes, because they have their branch of government to hold
But
responsibility.
it's not just that, Buju. It's the oath. Because in the preamble states that we can only respect duly or lawfully constituted authority. So if your oath, you failing to fulfill your oath, you failing to uphold that oath, then you are no longer lawfully constituted authority, my brother.
Right, so now.
You are illegal.
So now, when it reaches to that point, you know, what that
You
left
are
to be
just
done.
like a man on the road because you
Just looking for
renounce
anarchy.
the oath.
Right, that's why I'm telling him, when it reaches to that point, you know what that isn't left to be done is for the people to come together and take charge back of their country, my boy. Because we as the people
Yes.
cannot let the country just go astray and feel like we can't do nothing about it or we can't change it. You know.
Boy, Tola, I don't want to take over, you know, Tola.
We can change it.
We have a
I
whole
don't
system
Yeah.
that has failed the
Upsetting.
society. And every time
So
you look
if we
at
just
it,
take over, what are we going to do
you
now?
see it
No,
more
it's
and
not in
more.
that sense, brother. In the sense of, you see,
No, because you can't let it go down the journey, you know. Somebody must put their foot down, you know, my boy, to at least make the rest of the people recognize what happened.
Yeah, you see the thing about it.
That's why we taking a stand.
Every generation facing a different set of problems.
Yeah.
You check. And it's on the generation to address the issues. So right now, our generational problem, we have administrative problems.
yeah,
You check.
That's what we have. We have a political problem, you know.
The politics is part of it too.
Yeah, but I more
But
believe
it's-
to myself, Pyro, we have a generation problem. Because, as you say, the generation,
I mean, it's more than just one thing. It's a combination of a set of different things. You check, but
you damn right.
it culminates into some real.
That's why I have my grounds on why I choose to be with all you, my brother,
after
and not no political side, because that problem that there is a social problem, is a cultural problem,
Yes.
my brother.
Yes.
That you know
Yeah.
that
Part of
breed
it,
into
yes.
us,
Yeah.
and for us to change that, it have to start from there. So
True.
that's why I adamant about things like the parliamentary
Yeah, man.
commissioner. No, a man
Yeah,
cannot
but
go and
in
do
this-
an exam
but
and
watch
come and
that.
grade his own self, you know.
In the system we have now, even if we had a commissioner, it doesn't make a difference.
yeah,
No, well,
because they
I-
look for
them man
a
have corrupted
commissioner
the
that
system.
corrupt.
Yes, yes.
Just
So
as
much
them.
so
You
that-
check.
But I'm not speaking in that context. What I am speaking about is culpability, because it have people in the opposition and on this side and on that side that trying to exonerate themselves and trying to do like this the best thing and the solution to all our problems. But no, my brother, we is the
We
solution.
is the solution.
to
We
our
the people
problems.
is the solution.
Or
we
we
that,
can go
we that know what we need, you know, as a people, you know. Not
So
just
you
the
mean
politicians, you know.
Since
We as a people know what
independence,
we
my
need.
brother, no leader has found it prudent to plant a tree because he know you will not sit down in its shade.
whole thing is to be in the shed together with you. Them are not planting trees, they're building sheds.
Building
They're
sheds.
building gazebos so they can be in the shed with you.
Yeah.
The shed is not about the future generation. The shed is about they being in it now,
Yeah.
not they working in the sun.
For you to be in,
for somebody else to
be in the
benefit
shade.
of it.
Yeah.
You might not serve, they serving, you know.
Yeah.
So if you come to
Take
serve,
the
you know to
taking.
plant a seed and reap your shade.
Take these guys
and
that
for
take
somebody else to get the shade in the future.
Yeah.
That's when you come to serve and
Yes, my brother.
serve your people.
But of
But
course.
if you come to be in the shade, you come to see for yourself. And like Pyro was saying, when you had the parliamentary commission, that total system corruption we have in Dominica, I mean total
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
The
system corruption.
system totally corrupt.
People
We
are
have-
out of the system.
Hold
and
on,
all.
fellas. Hold on. We have a total system corruption from the top that has infected the small man, where people feel they can get away with embezzling other people, my brother.
Yeah, man.
From the smallest man at work in NEP, the boss man feeling he can take a day on them.
Yeah.
He can
Yeah.
do a vibe,
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
can happen.
Yeah.
And he gets away with it.
So it's
Not
Yes,
just he can, he gets away
he
with
gets
it.
away with clearly with me and not in NEP no more, but the boss man of the NEP touching on them man, and we discussing that, the NEP workers discussing that, and nobody feel they can get redress because, as again with Pyro said, the part of the judiciary, the police, we the people view them as corrupt. That is one department.
Yeah.
Then the court system will tell you, and Pyro was saying, the people in the court should speak up, the individual people.
Yeah.
But the court going to say, nobody didn't bring a case and they're neutral on the matter.
Yeah.
That is another vibes with the court. So the court does trick the people into, because some cases taking forever and some cases coming, no. Tomorrow it call in.
Yeah.
You understand? So we have a corrupt court system, we see it all the time. We have an executive president, not an executive president, we have our president who just try to be his best to wiggle his way out of responsibility by saying constitution this, constitution that. But he clearly doesn't state the constitution prevented him from being president.
Thank you.
He clearly doesn't say that part.
Thank you.
But he have all other things about the constitution doesn't say.
Yeah.
He's an expert in it. But he failing to inform the people that illegal. So the president illegal. Now you bring up an important point. Lawfully constituted authority. Now when you have a prime minister that is in direct breach of the constitutional law, how then is he lawfully constituted authority? And every action he has taken to suit is unlawful. Because if he informed the president he have an escrow account, which by constitution he's supposed to let the president know what he doing in the goddamn country. And in return, the president supposed to sit to ask a damn question as to, hey, my boy, you ask this happening and to know about that.
Yeah.
You understand?
Continue with that.
Remember,
for that you need a law.
Most of our law.
And you in particular have been to every department and cannot find the law.
Must pass through
The
parliament.
law is for the public.
Yes.
The law is not to be hidden.
The law is for the
So if
president,
the public
for
cannot,
everybody.
if the public have been to every department where that law
Supposed
to be, and you cannot get access to the laws, then we have a problem.
Because
And that is public information.
the constitution,
That is public
and then that's
information.
Supposed to.
That's supposed to be
And
well
I think they have a
gazetted and it's supposed to be
misconception
able to confine that.
the role of our president in our constitution. That ceremonial president,
The
I'm not
president
really-
is not just
I'm not really buying into that. It clearly says the president is in charge of the country, but he defers the daily operations to his subordinate, who is damn prime minister. At any given time, you can write to the prime minister, asking the prime minister any question that he wants to know about.
Before, and that is what I'm trying to say to you, that he is not willing to look after the interests of the people, and he has shown that, he has demonstrated that in the corruption of the system.
For sure.
And this is where I come back to it. The judiciary allowed this to happen, my brother. Even if the Prime Minister wants to do what he wants to do, you, the judiciary, you know better.
They're supposed to stop that.
You check. You're supposed to step in and prevent the violation of the Constitution. No matter what it is, you have a civic responsibility, you have a duty. The judiciary have a duty. Not just to
prosecutor, all of them, to speak up about law and order and to make clear exactly what it is that's going on all the time where law is concerned.
Your responsibility is not to a political party. Your responsibility is to the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Dominica.
Like no, but that's why the law telling you straight, no man cannot leave public office and become president. I will come out from public office today and become president tomorrow. You know. Neither that man should be younger than 40 years. You know, you have to be 40 and above, you know, to be president of the country.
Yes.
Now here we go. You have Charles Séwyè was a sitting minister at the time.
Yeah.
Probably a day or two after you and Charles Séwyè president of the country, my boy.
No. I want to add to what Tola said, because that is the problem that our people have. Is with principalities, my brother. With understanding, okay, the people that frame the Constitution, right?
The Constitution was handed down.
Yes, it was handed. Yes, but the people that frame it, the people that write it,
we don't know who write it.
There are.
It's a collection.
Yes, but there are protections written inside there, and there are ways to interpret it. Right? So let me. Yeah.
I believe you see the judiciary. I'm gonna give them.
Judiciary have one of the most
important their responsibility, their individual responsibility to speak up as citizens.
Yeah.
You know why I fall the blame of the president being where he is today? I fall into the political oppositions. Because you have Freedom Party that's supposed to know the fucking, know the Constitution. You have United Workers Party that's supposed to know the Constitution. There are armies of lawyers that's supposed to know the Constitution. How are you not challenging that in the High Court of Dominica?
And the opposition leaders
how do you not have the confidence in a win and more win case, not go for it? Especially when at the time when you was on a steady losing streak in their court.
I will agree with you 100% because
how you allowing the Prime Minister to get away with an illegal account for 3-4 years and not head it for the High Court and put a stop to it? These guys have a confidence problem in right and wrong or executing right and wrong. You cannot, because the judiciary said nobody will bring in the court case for us to adjudicate it and say, well, it's that and it's not that, and we can have a say and we can fatten out the matter and iron out the matter.
Yeah. Because they are citizens.
No, seriously, if you watch America, these things will go to the Supreme Court and they'd have to make a ruling on it, a case.
Remember, if you go to America, you have to talk about America. Before a judge coming to being a judge, or before he's selected as a judge, he already has an opinion.
Of course.
People know where he's standing. People know what is his vibes. You check if he's a Republican judge, where is his head at, what kind of a way he does behave in terms of casting judgment.
Yes.
No. The judiciary as a system will come together to defend the Constitution.
Yes, in America.
Right.
They'll make statements, certain statements.
Exactly.
As clear with Donald Trump. Yeah, they made many statements.
Exactly.
Because he made a lot of things out of the ordinary. No, in the
that is what I'm saying.
Yes,
yeah,
but in the absence
we have
of those statements.
We have a system where, remember, you as a judge, you as a judge that responsible in a court Right? Your responsibility
They are
is not
corrupt,
just
yes.
to the courthouse, you know, my brother. Your responsibility is also to the Constitution of Dominica. Because it's that Constitution that giving you the authority to be a judge. Without that Constitution, and it's just like what Tyrone saying, without that Constitution, you have no authority.
None.
True.
And not just that.
So when you sit there and you allow somebody,
Trample it.
right, and say nothing about it, do nothing about it, and wait for opposition to bring a case or to carry a case against whether it be the president,
It will
whatever
not
it
work.
be,
It will not work. These
it's
guys are
because
corrupted,
they are
boy.
already corrupted
Nah,
and
these
they are
guys are
allowing the
corrupted.
shit to happen.
That's why you can tell him as much as I don't agree with him 100%, but these guys are corrupted.
No, they corrupt.
They are the
So-
ones
so
that
you're
are
not-
allowing
So
it to
now
happen.
the only solution, as I keep saying,
Yeah, it's
to
one
this
solution, and we see
problem
that already from
is
day one.
appeal to the people,
It's with the
educate the
people,
people about the law,
Right.
and then when we're ready to take a stand, the people would know the reason why they are taking a stand for, because they are fully educated about what
It's
they are
really people, you
doing.
know, that are
Because
putting
it's we that is the problem, you know, because we ignorant towards the law.
the total
Many of
system.
us are ignorant towards the whole total
So
system,
let
as
me-
Pyro
let me
saying.
just put
So
We
some-
these
live in a
fellas growing
system
out of
that is
that.
totally
Let
corrupted.
me just
Yeah.
put a little input.
Totally
Let me just put a little
corrupt.
input.
CFIU.
But Marcus
Fail to do
Ferrer
their work.
fail to do
You
their
see,
work.
That's why I'm telling you.
Look at the
So
parliament.
the next move is the people, you know, not even a political
No, but
party. You know, that
before we
according to
talk about-
Tyrone, that is why you join with us to take a stand, because it makes sense for we the people to come together and take a stand. That
But
is not
of
a
course,
political
man.
Because we have
problem.
a
That is a
situation
people
in
problem. That's a
Dominica,
national
not
problem.
even the politicians, not even the politicians, and that including Labour Party, you know, truly have confidence in our own constitution. Why? Some of them man cannot act in accordance with the constitution. They do not understand it themselves.
Yeah.
So now you have a police, as Pyro said, the constitution gives you your authority.
Yeah.
Yet the police do not read the constitution. The police do not know what branch of government they fall under the framing of our constitution.
Exactly.
So imagine you are the chief of police and someone will come to you and ask you what branch of government you fall under, and most likely you're not going to be able to answer that question.
I'm going to tell you the biggest loophole that all politicians have been using to keep people in darkness, my brother, which is the very same thing that I've been talking about. The questions that Lennox Linton and any other opposition party will come and ask in Parliament about financial accounting, about those things there, they will never get heard until there is a parliamentary commissioner. Because the speaker will object every time and say, that is not the forum.
Actually, no, Tyrone.
But Tyrone,
Hold on,
remember
let me interrupt you
that
now. Let me
again.
interrupt you
I
now.
keep telling
The
you that.
Commissioner
Remember
of
the
Police
level of
has
corruption that we are
greater
in.
authority.
I agree, Tola. I agree.
Hold on, Tyrone. The Commissioner of Police has greater authority than the Parliamentary Commissioner in the Constitution as set up in Dominica.
Yeah.
The Commissioner of Police is the man in charge of investigating every
Yes, that I can agree. That I can agree. That I
and
can agree.
everybody.
Yeah.
Now, as I was watching some British news, I had a rumor about a politician. A rumor, you know them kind of rumors. We know it's true, but
Yeah.
we don't. Scotland had springing investigation because it's their duty to put a stop to all public mischief.
Well,
Yeah.
no. But
So the police, when Lennox come and say, but it missing money, and Scary say, boy, I put that in a escrow account, boy, that's supposed to trigger
Yeah.
the commissioner of police to say, yo, bro, and you do what? In an escrow, what?
So is the commissioner of police even trained in law?
While you're training law, I can read and write and understand
Yes.
that. And
But
he
I
can
just
read.
asking, is
Yes,
the
asking a
commissioner
simple
of
question.
police even trained in law? That is why I
Probably
always
not.
That is why I always
I don't believe
maintain
so now. I
a
think
commissioner
the-
of police
I think the
supposed
commissioner
to be
have more
fully trained in law,
education.
be a lawyer or some kind of a level of law, my brother. You cannot be the ones enforcing or administering law and you're not trained in law.
Yeah.
he should have a level
The acting
of
commissioner right
understanding
now
the law.
is trained, he's a sociologist, some kind of thing like that. He has a sociology degree. So he maybe do a few courses in law, but come on, you need to be fully trained
He
in law.
needs to be able to understand
You can uphold
law.
law and other
Not
property.
just understand, you need to be trained in law.
Yeah, so you can
If
uphold
me
the
and
law
you
and
that
other
not
property, my
trained
boy.
can read, understand, and interpret it, that means he lacking certain skills as commissioner of police.
Definitely.
That is what it's saying.
Yeah.
Just like
Because
your favorite
you can
partner.
read it and understand it. T can read it and understand it. I can read it and understand it. Interpret it and come back and explain. How does he, in such a high level, not be able to read and
Wow.
understand?
Wow. You see, and that is the thing, we take things for granted. Yeah?
Maybe.
And remember
I
Davidson
tell him,
Valerie.
you tell him that I give from
You see
fire.
Davidson Valerie. That is why I tell you, Davidson Valerie opened my eyes, you know, my brother.
Of course.
Yeah,
Of course.
because things we would check, them man supposed to know and them man supposed to understand. It's surprised to see the level of comprehension of these fellas, you know, my brother. And it's not like to say they
Good time you have for me.
it's not like to say it's pretending or something else. These
What good
people
time you have for me?
genuinely lacking comprehension and understanding.
But of course.
I watch Davidson Valerie and tell him straight. I rather puppet you I check. Best thing you can do is come out in front of him because he does a puppet.
Now I telling
The man
Buju.
keep going on, oh he not no puppet no. When I break it down for him, oh he's a puppet, he just turned his back and he left the room. Because then he understood. But I mean we have to be realistic about things.
Yeah.
And I rather we're living in a system that is totally corrupt.
Corrupt to the highest level.
And it's just like what Buju
Highest
said.
level.
If you telling me a rumor came up about a politician in Scotland where you're speaking about,
In England, you say, yeah.
right? And Scotland had just take it up on their own. Nobody don't make no report. It's out there in the
Public domain.
In the public domain. You check. You have a responsibility to the public as the authority figure. You check.
You're in
So
charge
when
of-
you
you're
have
in
a
charge.
judiciary system that allowing a president to sit illegally as a president, whether we have a serious issue going on, our judiciary system is totally
Byro, now I
corrupt.
tell Buju that, you know, yeah that. Buju forget what the pastor tell us, man. Boy, you don't see me kind of money them man passing.
I can never forget, we did an interview after the whole Isidore Gun Emmanuel saga, right? We did an interview with Gun Emmanuel. Gun Emmanuel, before the interview, we were speaking off the camera. And Gun Emmanuel is saying to us that when he found out about all what was happening with Isidore, he went to the police station to make a report. When he went to make the report, the policeman at the desk looked at him and asked him if he knew who he is speaking about him. That is Skerritt's lawyer he's talking about him. You check? The man basically told him to come out there. And Gun Emmanuel is at the time was a former judge. You check me? And that is how this man was treated. So that is why they always say, think about it. If they could treat a former judge like that, what would they do to you and I?
They say how they treating Patrick John, man. Look at Patrick John for another example, Fowler.
Hey, give me a second there.
And the only thing that can protect man in this society, the only document that can bring level to the society, balance, is the Constitution. And if a government keeps violating the Constitution, then clearly that government has no regard for the people.
Trust me,
Clearly
they have
that
no
government
No love, no compassion, nothing at all.
Okay, so
But making noise, too much noise there.
So I'm going to just read a little section there to bring a little clarity to the discussion, right? Because I do want all you to, I want all to understand my perspective as relates to that. Okay? So here we have is it 110 of the Constitution, the functions of the Commissioner. The Parliamentary Commissioner may investigate any such matter in any of the following circumstances: where a complaint is duly made to the Commissioner by any person alleging that the complainant has sustained an injustice as a result of a fault in administration. B. Where a member of the House requests the Commissioner to investigate the matter on the ground that a person or body of persons specified in the request has or may have sustained such injustice. In any other circumstances,
Boy, instead of put that off now, boy. Boy, put that off now, man.
in any other circumstances in which the Commissioner considers that he ought to investigate the matter on the grounds that some person or body of persons has or may have sustained such injustice. The authorities other than departments of government to which this section applies are local authorities or bodies established for purpose of the public service or local government, authorities or bodies the majority of whose members are appointed by the president or by a minister, or whose revenues consist wholly or mainly of monies provided out of public funds. Any authority empowered to determine the person with whom any contract shall be entered into by or on behalf of the government. So MMC, all of fucking them. So you check? Sorry, my language. Hold on a second. So any such authorities as may be prescribed by Parliament. Now, what I'm saying is, we have 2 hours speaking about the fact that no minister of government should be handling state funds. If you look here, they tell you in the Constitution here that the powers of the Parliamentary Commissioner stops or it borders at the permanent secretaries. It says here in plain English that the Parliamentary Commissioner cannot ask any minister about money, about, he has no power to investigate any minister. So the borders of his power, stops at the permanent secretary, and for good reason, because if a minister has no authority to be spending public money, why should the Parliamentary Commissioner have to ask him any question in investigating? If he's the permanent secretary who has the power vested in him to do government spending, then naturally the powers would border at it.
It's still just giving them, just like in the parliament, giving the minister a certain level of immunity. But that immunity he gets from the Parliamentary Commissioner. He does not get it with the Commissioner of Police.
Right.
That's why I tell you,
right,
at the end of the day, the Commissioner of Police, if he's a man or a woman with balls, then the job getting done.
What is in under your panty?
No, I understand what you're saying. You
understand what I'm saying?
I understand, of course. But
so when the Parliamentary Commissioner find okay that leading up to something, you go into the police.
Exactly.
And the police will execute
so then criminal investigations can be initiated by the Parliamentary Commissioner after he do his work.
I'm not telling you no, I'm telling you. Yes, I agree. But what I'm saying is that the system is so corrupted. That
and I agree that. I understand exactly what you're saying.
Right,
don't think I understand.
When we flush it,
don't think I don't understand.
We have to flush it in that old system.
That's what I say in. all of them have enjoyed that. All of the parties that have come from independence have enjoyed their hands in the public purse. Because there has never been a situation where there's a parliamentary commissioner there to have oversight. So, like, all of these are things that have to be...
like something like a parliamentary commissioner. I don't even know. That
Right
cannot
now.
be in the hands of...
Boy, let me tell you, listen to me, let me put it in the right way for you.
We come into another whole thing there about the appointments
yes,
and all
you
the
see right
acting
now.
positions there.
You see right now. You see all
Them
them
acting
things.
positions is just to corruptly influence, you know. All those people they have an acting a permanent position dangling in front of their nose. It's just a carrot in front of a donkey, you know.
Yes, but
That is just to corruptly influence.
the thing about it, yes, all those positions, all those things, they have their right, they have their force, they have their authority.
Good night.
But at the end of the day, they are all have been corrupted.
Yeah, man.
Not one we can
All of them.
see and we can say, well, this one is acting in a way that is balanced and fair to the system. We cannot point on none of these individuals and say, well, this man is carrying out his duty in a just and impartial. We cannot point on none of them.
None.
So the entire system in itself, it corrupted,
Yeah,
and
man.
the entire system has to be broken down.
Rotten.
Good night, everybody. I have been listening to the vibes, and I just want to add basically and simply that what I told us when we come to fix up everything.
Yeah, man.
You see all those positions that have been, that the Prime Minister have to be involved in that,
Yeah.
that have to come out of that, that have to come out of that situation.
But this,
See the commissioner, the
Yeah,
judges, those people there, the Prime Minister not supposed to have no say in that. And we have to make sure we fix those things there.
Let me just finish, put it in, and I was going to tell Buju, let me put it in the right way for you.
You see,
It has certain, it has certain sections, right? Not just, that's why I tell you, you have to flush everything. I want to flush it.
That is the way
You
I
have
like
to
to flush.
You have to put it in the way that it can never be broken again.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right? Because and now there are certain sections that will never be in the hands of no political
That's
party.
right. So we have to take notes. People take
As in
notes.
terms of
Those
of
things
the
there.
parliamentary commission, as Tyrone saying, you
Yeah,
see
man.
the Minister of National Security,
Yeah.
that shouldn't be in no hands of no kind of minister. Because that should be an individual person even working with the police hand in hand, and the police for himself should be another individual body by itself at all times.
Yeah.
And we have to put the constitution in the right way, that anytime these guys think of breaking these laws, it do have no other option. Somebody must go to jail.
Of course.
Somebody must go. Yeah, man. Yeah, you have to put some prison time onto the constitution right now, because yeah, man. Because for let us get in our way easy with certain little loopholes in the
Like what you were
constitution,
saying, one of them.
and we have to block all them little loopholes in the
These loopholes,
constitution. my
them
brother.
on the no loopholes, them
Yeah.
are openly
Bold
breaking
face.
the
Yeah, man.
constitution.
Bold face.
Yeah.
Why you telling me put my name there, Dr. President? Go from being
Charles Saville.
Yeah.
MP, a member of parliament,
Yeah.
straight to being president.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And I like what Buju put in it.
They're not loophole.
I like what Buju put it, basically like how those people that they're doing political strategy and they're checking like, boy,
Because
look at
not-
madness. How we
Well,
can
not
allow
even
this
those
man?
the
people.
same
Not even
thing.
those people. Those people not even supposed to
You're correct,
matter.
yeah. The judiciary.
Because you have a judiciary system that's
Yeah.
supposed to take care of that, my brother. You
Yeah.
check, they have a responsibility.
Oh,
You
a lot
check, they have a responsibility. You know. The judiciary has
A
a
lot of
responsibility.
people have deplased themselves,
my
eh?
brother.
A lot
You
of
check
people have
me.
deplased themselves. All
And
those bullshit there.
that to allow that to happen, to allow
Yeah, man.
these things to be going on for the time it has been going
long,
on and
man.
for
Too
how it
long.
has been going on. Nah, man.
And imagine I had a photo all day, and I glad like the conversation going there and it fitting right into it. I had a question I want to ask all you, because to me, in my opinion, I feel right now that we do not need politicians to What? You see the country? We don't need politicians to run the country, my brother.
But politicians not supposed to be running
Thank
the
you,
country.
thank you. I
Politicians
not
supposed to
mad.
be policy
Policy
makers, my
Just,
brother.
yeah,
I don't know
but
them
we have
man
politicians running the country.
because they corrupt the system.
That is our problem.
Why you think it have permanent
We
secretaries?
need leaders in the departments to run the country, brother. Which is the PSCs.
But I tell you
That
that
have,
why it have
that
permanent
have,
secretary?
that do and study those things and have a much degree
That's
to
why I
know
tell you
how
that.
to organize certain things. I'm telling you, there's politicians not supposed to be running our country. You have
True,
people that don't know nothing about nothing,
And that is why-
controlling thing. But
But that is
Let me tell
why.
you something.
But that
something.
is
A
why-
politician, right?
Hold on, chill
That's
out.
not-
That is why Alec Lawrence tells you straight. No minister not supposed to be responsible for government money.
exactly.
Because
People
at the end of the
You
day, you all
supposed to
are
shape in
policy
policy.
makers.
Yes, yeah.
you
to make
know.
people
Yeah,
life
man.
better.
And that is where local government
Boy.
coming in place.
Boy.
That is where the parliamentary
Right.
commissioner coming
Thank
in
Yeah,
you,
man.
place.
brother. Thank you.
So now village council
Yeah,
and
man.
these things supposed
So
to
the
be
man out of
functional
place,
like
my brother, and it
before.
is
man.
But
they
they
need
break
to
the
know
village
your place.
councils and these things. So now, here you
Them
go.
man know what they're doing illegally.
Of
So right
course.
now, them man trying to use the police now to come and enforce
Yeah, man.
their
Bullshit.
will on people.
Pull. Yes, sir.
Reject.
That they
No,
do
but
it.
then again, it requires. You see, Byron, are you
That is
know?
the situation it is, Bojo.
Yes, I understand that situation perfectly clear, but I will still go back to that. The fact that we have political leaders as well, because this man's job as a political strategist to find weakness in man
no
man
leaders, no.
and bash man
I'm
man.
telling you no, but what I try and tell you, it have people that there and that is their responsibility,
I know.
not even
I
the politician
understand
responsibility.
all
Because
that.
the
Yeah.
political
Yeah.
leader,
You saying-
Yeah.
the opposition,
Yeah.
right, have a responsibility.
Yeah.
But you, as a member of the judiciary, your responsibility,
Because
your
you are
direct
taking a-
professional
I don't know what
responsibility. You see their professional responsibility
When they,
as an officer of the
it's
court.
not a light thing to get called to the bar, you know.
Already buys us is a private
Yes, but-
association,
yes,
not
but-
nothing.
The bar not no private
Listen,
association.
listen, but brother, listen. When the people have no confidence in the institution of the law, what value, what power you have, my
But my
brother?
brother is just going to say what I'm
People that
saying
power.
is, if you have man that is political strategist and political this,
Yeah.
that cannot show true confidence
Yes, correct.
in the rules and regulation of
True
the
that, true
of
that.
the constitution.
Yes, sir.
Not where they feel,
You
where they
they
feel.
feel right.
Like for example, we can take Sky to court for dual citizenship because somebody tells us that song is hot and
Yeah,
sexy.
Yeah.
So we dare in that.
So
So the simplicity of preventing an illegal
my
president
brother.
showing something, my
Yeah,
brother,
man.
and that shows a lot
Force the judiciary.
to me personally.
The judiciary,
Because
yeah,
That the fault
I
of the
understand
world.
what Pyro's saying. I understand what
Yeah.
Pyro's saying. But you see the judiciary and them, they like to pretend to be neutral and everyone to be neutral. Somebody was supposed to challenge that
That's right. And then
and force
put
them
under
into
pressure.
a position of impartiality and
Yeah.
say like,
Yeah.
yo, with that say clearly,
Yeah, yeah.
you're not supposed to be
So
my
as you
boy,
seen, my brother.
back down.
Yeah.
It's not too late for that criminal to go jail.
go
You know,
to
that bull
court.
there.
Yeah, boy.
Because
According
certain
to those
things,
people that
it
bull
clear.
party there.
Anything
Not
Anything
let
that
them people
challenging
go
the
jail.
constitution is the high
And neither
court.
to hold neither.
Bill Cosby in jail. you know.
And neither
Yes,
to
no,
hold.
Right.
High court.
South African.
I personally don't expect some member of the judiciary to come and speak up in our society. I expect the violation as simple as
You're not
child
escaping, you know.
suffering to be taken to
man.
to
Of
court
course,
by
of
some
course.
You're not escaping,
by
you're
some
not
civil society
Society.
vibes, my brother.
yeah, man.
Because that is sometimes that doesn't happen in Dominica. Everybody just seems to say, hey boy, what I. So no priest, no church organization, no union organization, no official organization saying like, yo, that cannot happen. So as parents still say, they all fail to guard the institution, because it's not the judiciary that going to take the prime minister to court. But in all them social organization and here they everywhere playing regarding the society,
Yeah.
high and mighty, and
Yeah.
who is this and who is that,
Yeah.
plus numerous political parties. How you not seen them shit, my brother, to challenge and defend the constitution? It's because none of these people do not truly care about the constitution. Unless it coming into their game plan.
Yeah.
You're correct.
Yeah.
And that is it. Unless it's not in their game plan, they don't care about the constitution.
Yeah.
So scared than them like Pyro say Alec Lawrence, no people ignorant of the constitution. So they can implement how much game plans on the constitution. It's for now the opposition members to find workers and whoever to find ammunition in it.
Yeah, man. Of
But
course,
them man have no understanding of it
national
they themselves.
and that is why,
And their
therefore,
interest is personal interest rather than
Yeah.
national interest.
right, and Buju.
But we are
that's-
the real opposition.
You know
tonight.
what
We
that
know
triggered that
eh?
today? You know what that triggered me to come to that conclusion today and say like that you
People
really
is
need
the
to
real
go hard and make people
opposition,
understand. You see the people that run the country right now, what the country needs right now.
But fresh leadership.
Not just not just fresh leadership, but serious people. That it needs serious people to run the country right now, and not politicians, but leaders. You see, like if I'm on the radio there, what name Cobra.
Yeah.
Cobra was speaking on the radio today, and I checking like this man sounds more of a man I would make lead post put to control in charge of Portsmouth
But you
than
don't have
why is a man named
Maggie.
Douglas that going just on a surname and a family thing, my boy.
Maggie Cobra have more people in Portsmouth employed than Ian
Exactly,
Douglas.
he's a leader.
I do that telling what people tell.
Thank you.
I know what I'm telling you.
And this is the kind of people we need, like us and people that for country and leader and looking to empower
We
people.
need a fresh engagement
Yeah,
of
man.
new
Yeah.
leaders from the new generation. Because the generation above us, my brother, have clearly
Feel.
failed.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very difficult to put members of that generation
Yes.
back in charge of the country again.
Yeah,
Some of them can be advisors and we can listen to them, but
yeah,
we need
yeah.
Keep telling you that.
a
The
new
buck cannot stop with them.
we need new union member, a new union
Leader.
a new union
Yeah, man,
leader.
all those
when you
things.
can have a man that willing to negotiate,
So we have a generation
negotiate
problem.
with a man that's stealing from government,
Yeah.
a man that's willing to give your people 1%.
And he
Let me,
voted
let,
all
And
me,
he's
let, me, let
stealing.
me swing a punch inside
You know, let me just wrap that up. You negotiating with a man that have $1.2 billion missing from the government. A man with a party that spent $75 million to win a campaign. You want 1%? Gas go up and the 1% finished. Gas go up and the 1% was taken back. And I rest my case. That is what the union need a negotiation for. Not if we don't even have you getting a raise that cannot even fit an adjustment on the gas price.
But you can buy a
So-
biscuit.
It cannot adjust to the gas price.
You can buy a biscuit with that.
So you're
I tell you already, my boy.
$1,250 or $1,000.
Buju, I listen to all you good. You know.
I want to give
I listen to all you good, and you see me every day. I will keep saying it. We have a generation problem, my boy.
Yeah, because
The generation above us,
yes,
if you watch them good,
the shit under the
they
tree.
pump
always
us.
talking about that.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
always want to know they up.
Yeah.
They above all things.
right. And
They
not,
don't want to
they're not putting things in
encourage
place
a
for
young
future.
one and motivate
Yes,
a young
my brother,
one to take
empower.
over tomorrow so they can
Right.
feel relaxed.
Yeah.
they want to
They
They want to
finishing
die in the shade.
and they harassing their life still. You know, saying let me take a this back.
You see all of them with
My boy, generation problem. But look at Suki. Suki doesn't even sleep properly. Suki doesn't sleep properly.
Why? How come?
But Suki have to open the bakery just now.
Yes, sir. yeah.
At 11 o'clock tonight, Suki opening the bakery. 6 o'clock in the morning, you have to open the gas station and the depot.
I reckon.
Boy, you mad man, boy. You don't know how to tell you. The man that have to open the supermarket. Either opening cane for
Like Maggie.
another Maggie, yeah. Suki and Maggie and competition. Yeah. I suspect they will take that from by Suki.
No, my thing different from Suki, my
Look what
brother.
I just
But he's
said,
not giving
Buju.
him money.
The man can relax now and
No, that's the
come
vibes,
on, my
my
brother.
That is the man vibes stolen.
Everybody relax, he might just
The
die.
man up early, the man up late, my brother. The
You're
man
right,
vibes is to work, my
And
brother.
it's that is
These
their
guys-
head. So
okay.
that's why I'm telling you,
In New Chong,
they never set their mind for when they reach at a certain age to be relaxed.
My brother, man doesn't relax, but man have to
Boy,
work, my brother.
boy, we have to
Oh, I want to relax,
we can
Buju.
work differently,
You
Buju.
just relax.
I want to relax, but I cannot because if I relax,
Work in the
things gonna go
Working there, this in the
just
down.
crumble down.
I'll say
But I want to
so.
relax.
So Suki is a big
I
help.
I don't disrespect him, like I'm showing you an example. Yes.
Looking to achieve, my brother, because
Yes, I don't say no, you know, bro.
Suki.
Why they're telling
as we
you?
born into just a Suki talk all of us on there. My brother, as a little boy see Suki, you know, as a little boy see Suki grow.
For sure, all of us.
My brother Suki be the first ninja 1000 motorbike in Dominica. When people say Dominica did not run for 1000. You cannot see him in his backyard playing ninja. But Suki is an entrepreneur, an ultimate hustler, my brother.
This kind of little
Yes.
that used to be
running the place.
The
Bring
boy
a change to the country.
today I told my partner Oyo that you know.
respect Suki, my brother. Suki is an ultimate hustler, my
I
brother.
told my
But it's
partner
not
Oyo
keeping him alive because that is his thing. That is
Yeah, no, but I just use as a reference.
I see how you go. I saw you saying to her.
Because
that man that is
I don't say you can't take away that from
I
me.
give him his full big
You
up.
cannot take that away from
But
I tell you that straight.
today I was rolling Oyo tone. I tell Oyo, say, like, a man come in the yard and say, boy, Oyo, you doing good business in the place.
Sorry, brother.
And I say to myself, these people like Oyo, the mindset like Oyo and Suki and this kind of people there, is those people there we need to be running the country. Because they run the country on a business level. You check me? They'll run the country on a business level. They wouldn't take the country money and just build apartments and give people for freeness. It don't bring in no returns. You know they can none and put it in something that can give us returns. You check it?
I wasn't going to go live, no worry.
So it does work, yeah.
How you been, my brother? Welcome. Welcome, brother. Diplomat. Or diplomat. You feel like telling you? Come on, come also.
Yes. Support.
You see what I'm telling you?
Don't know.
Bless up, brother.
So that's what I say now. I telling Oyo, you know, and Oyo telling him for real. We need people, businessmen people, not a man that never sell ice pop, my brother.
Now watch that. The whole urban concept of Newton, right? Newton is an urban concept that was brought up by a British architect. I can't remember his full name, but it's a Howard something, right? Now that is a concept that came up in the 1800s, I think. I remember exactly. But it was basically the extension of the city center. So you had the congestion in the city center. The city extended linearly outward in one street. And if you look at Newton, you see it is just a linear extension, one street. But along that street, you're supposed to have everything commercial.
Sure.
Everything. That's what it is.
Victoria Street is
It's an
actually.
extension of the city center. That was the concept of Newton, you know. And any former British colony you go to, more than likely you're going to find a Newton.
A Newton, yes.
Yeah.
St. Kitts have one.
Which are St. Kitts, Jamaica. Most of the places have, if they don't have Newton, they have Jamestown, they have, some of them have different names, but it's the same concept.
Antigua
It's
one
just-
too, yeah.
So, and it's just like what you say. So when you talk about like people like Suki and Oyo and man like that into the whole commerce and the whole economics and thing, right there in Newton is like that was what Newton was built for.
Yes, sir.
It's history.
That is the concept of what it was built
High
for.
street.
It's serious
Okay.
history.
High street border in the whole.
No. In
Historic
England, it would be a
center.
high street, a street where you'd find a little commercial, a little house.
No. In England it would be a Newton. That is what the concept was. Newton, you check. It's the British that came up with that concept, you know. It's a linear extension of the city, so you go find.
That and yet the name Victoria Street, that songs, that's British right there. So 100%.
To me, the architect that brought that up, I think, was Howard Ebenezer, some kind of name like that. I can't remember exactly, but he's a British architect. His name, he have Howard in his name for sure.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
he did that in architecture.
Yeah, man. So whole day in my head, I check in tonight. I want to share my opinion that we do not need politicians running the country. Politicians should not be running a country because politicians is basically the man like pageants trying to win a popularity contest. You check it, the most popular person. Hey, I'm Mr. Father. You know, everybody know I'm popular. Let's vote Ian Douglas because Douglas have a legacy. But what Ian Douglas really, you know what I'm telling you? What, my boy? You can ask him, Cobra, what has Ian Douglas done on your behalf? And he's like,
the Douglas
Kevin,
family is the largest land owning family in the north, right?
yeah.
And the land just sitting there.
Yep.
You're supposed to be employing people. You're sitting down here in Parliament and what you doing?
Oh, yeah, boy.
You check.
So
There's not been beach way. I have a complaint about that way. They just look Batty Boo beach way.
Yeah, it's not supposed to.
Must have just find that a tragedy to look
But
Batty
it's not
Boo
supposed
beach,
to
my brother.
because
And
under
then
the
make it
law
worse,
telling you,
the person
no
come in
beach.
there 10 o'clock in the morning. They need to stop that, my
Nobody
brother.
cannot claim the beach, you know.
No.
The beach.
They have access to the beach. They
In
lock
the
in the
law.
access to the beach. They come in here 10 o'clock. So if you want to come and access Batty Boo 7 o'clock, you cannot access Batty Boo beach 7 o'clock until that person come here 10, 11 o'clock. They need to stop that, my brother. I tell you straight. Maggie, I didn't leave Newtown to reach Batty Boo for 6 o'clock, you know, and with big iron get with padlock, you know, my brother. Like,
Who can able to get to the beach?
But fellas, I have another issue I want to bring up their way. Another thing that been.
Yeah, man, speak your mind, brother.
So now we had the MOU. We always have MOU. So and they always secret. So we had an MOU with Petro Caribbean for whatever. I remember we don't know the contents of it. But when you're talking about fuel, petrol and things, you're talking about energy. Now, energy is one of the things that directly impacting all of us lives. You as the consumer, when you go to buy goods or services, the energy, the cost to keep the goods cool, to keep the cheese hard and to keep the butter hard and to keep the meat fresh, all that you pay in for that energy consumption. Now, you have a landfill that was relocated from Woodbridge Bay area. We have a planning department, and you can see that our policy makers, we have no strength in policy making, because policy making would imply that you have to have some kind of foresight, some kind of plan or a vision of, okay, what is going to be moving forward. And when in 2021 you for the past 15 or so years, how many years have we been chasing that geothermal project? How much money have we poured into that geothermal project?
Geothermal project more looking like a way to wash money from.
Yeah.
That's what I just feel like. A big hole to just fit. Just for
More inside.
Just fit. Okay, we digging a hole today, and it's gonna cost 10 million.
Yeah.
It costs 2 million if it.
Yeah.
Because nothing will happen.
For how long
And yet,
And I don't think nothing ever gonna happen.
The project
with that
going on for more than 10
Nothing
years.
not ever gonna happen.
And then in saying that now, what we are saying is that you are investing all those $millions of dollars in a thing that you are not sure of.
it has
Yeah.
yet,
Not a couple $1,000s now.
we yet
Millions
to
of
harness
dollars.
not 1 kilowatt of energy
In a
from all of
thing.
that money that we
I
spent.
feel my last son will make children, and that thing will never materialize. Yeah.
Yeah. and my brother, not long ago, you was in SMA and you checking it. Not long ago, man was in high school, my brother.
Yeah.
And look like in a blink of an eye, look.
20 years of digging. Nothing.
So then, what I
paying high electricity bills.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Nothing will happen.
No impact to the
Look, recently that
the
something
people.
dumb like do some kind of thing. I didn't really read the full
but then there are some people,
vibes about it.
the money wasn't available
Where they
for
have
us
to
time.
pay extra, they're going to do some work on some. I didn't really read the full article. And people have to pay in advance.
Yeah, recently they are.
Exactly what?
Yeah, they had some problem
What
with
happening
their
is now
system.
they have some problem with their meters. And now instead they cooperate with the people, with the suppliers and tell them, well, okay, we'll give all them some service for certain amount of time. You know them and telling the people, continue topping up their Piazzigo. The man telling the people to continue topping up their Piazzigo and their meters have the problem by
The company that makes 16
millions of dollars, you understand? Instead the man compensate the people, the man telling the people continue paying money.
Is it going on, guys?
And they cannot fix the problem up and on the all too they already call the radio crying about that.
That is something I don't see where somebody, you have some social group supposed to check them man to tell whoever and tell them, yo, them man shit fucking up. We cannot be on the hook for them man shit fucking up.
I would like us to address that statement by Celia Gordon.
What was the question?
I also could read it now. Not a question, just not a statement. I would like us to address it.
Not because a man is good at managing material thing doesn't say he can't run a country. He can. I give you a screen yourself look like I almost spider web. Not because a man is good at managing material things doesn't say he can run a country. Because a country have the financial, economical, socio-economical, geographic, etc. in a country.
Yeah.
You need
People, you need
Hold on. Finish.
You need integrated leaders that can work on every front and can manage everything.
I agree.
And most important, you need somebody with a vision to deal with the matter, not just administrative and degrees and things. You have to have vision. Because we have visionless degrees in the government at the moment.
That's right. Yeah.
So you have to have a
so let me just wrap up what I started. So you have the landfill, and that is the thing, in the 21st century, every developing nation that's serious about going to that next level realize their waste as an asset. You will move a landfill from one location to another in close proximity to one of the power generators for the sole energy provider. No investments have been made in biofuel. And it would be much cheaper. And if we had done so, we would have had results already impacting the life of the people. Had those investments been made.
But me personally, where electricity is concerned, when you go back historically in Dominica prior to 1979, Hurricane David was when 78. Prior to Hurricane David, Dominica was 90% hydroelectricity. Somehow, through mischance, United Workers' Party and 20 years of Labour Party plus, we have allowed that to slowly slip down to 30% or less. And that is where we're gonna stray on our power supply in Dominica. We have had
the saddest part about
but how
that
you
is
can
that
have Dowasco and
the saddest part about that is that the population has decreased.
Yes, it has.
So in the same, prior to Hurricane David, the population was 82,000 people or something like that.
But I read one paper saying as 100,000 people was living in Dominica prior to Hurricane David.
And I see that. But I've seen articles that say it was like 82,000 people.
No man, people was coming here illegal to work, man. They was hiding in the bush. And people.
I don't know if Dominica population was ever 100,000.
In the 21st century, Dowasco and solid waste management supposed to already be exploring or involving energy production. If you want to talk about resilience, you have to talk about diversity. You can't talk, and we have solar technology now. You check me? I know them man do serious about helping people, because when I see the minimum cost of things that could impact people's life in beneficial ways, where it's not you don't have to go and give a handout and thing. You check me? You invest a couple 100,000 in that there, or couple million,
I
and
personally,
everybody life can be impacted. Energy can be cheaper for
And
everybody.
electricity would have been that is a thing of that nature.
So yeah, Jeff had to say
The only thing don't like have on us.
Yeah, you have to say something there, sir.
no,
The man has.
no, but I personally was never for geothermal energy because I just feel like, okay, we are the Caribbean island with the most volcanoes, bro.
Yeah.
And to go and dig up and interrupt with those things there, it's like a bomb. I find it just taking a chance. We took a big chance in our life as Dominicans to allow
Just pull up the break. I think
allow
they're
that
praying
to
for
happen in the
the. I
first
don't know.
place, you know.
Yeah, man.
Because I feel like hydro energy would have been better. They could enhance it to make it be cheaper. And then you could even use the wind and those things. We have so much big tall mountains and stuff like that we could look into, you know, or the solar before you go to geothermal.
I just find with geothermal.
We have 9 sleeping bombs, you know. God forbid. You know what I mean?
Moun Séwyè making it 10.
I don't even know why we even allow that in the first place.
That is a money
But them and use that.
But that is the
Like I
thing
said,
though.
they just use it as a reason.
We see
as
we
a
that
way-
allow it.
They use it as a way to.
We see we that allow it. Them people that doing what they want, doing what they want, and we've been there just checking like them man, you know, and they know what they and with but
I trust you had faith in them.
yes, not even faith in nobody checking like them man checking your scene, they're doing what they have to do and we do our thing.
Because you trusted your
Yeah.
With your trust in
The whole management of the country was entrusted to these
Yes.
people for many years.
Yes. And they take
And
advantage
people
of
would think like them man would be a way
the
of
best
certain
interest of the
things.
people, yeah.
But my brother,
Them man they give up.
They get trusted.
but you see, it's like, because a lot of people is a lot of misunderstanding because I tell a man straight. When you watch man like
Man, stay there, there. Man, stay there. Come on.
when you watch them man,
Production.
them man like Skerrit. Skerrit became Prime Minister, and one of the first things he did was made himself Finance Minister. But you're never trained in finance.
And nobody question that.
Look now, you make yourself planning minister. You have never been trained in architecture, urbanization, nothing like
Nothing of
that.
this sort. No building and drawing, no technical drawing, no.
So you getting a job, you taking a job, you know, on the highest job in the land, you know, around the country.
Now the people now that training those, right, and it's just like that what you say, that is the two most important ministries in
Two most
Yeah.
important ministry.
planning and finance.
and finance.
Jack, that's setting the stage for everything that's happening in the country.
Yes.
You check me? These two ministries alone setting the stage for everything. Hotel development, agriculture, everything. Yeah, they going stealing.
Yes! Yes, brother! That,
Where you specializing in
that, my
PhD.
brother. Yeah.
I see the man load his
Dr. Volle.
I see the man load his portfolio. I say, well,
When you go in, see that man go in university, study it. When you come back, you have to pass how many interviews, tests, all kind of things for you to get a job as an architect, as an urbanist, as a this engineer. You check. These people just come in and just
Yes, still not the
I'm telling you,
put themselves in position.
Position, my brother.
Don't know nothing about how the things working, how it's supposed to be, what
That's
is
another-
the interest of even fixing the issues
Yes.
that are existing. And they put themselves directly, they're not even setting policy because it's not even about the policy. Like directly.
managing that you're using,
Yes.
manager, super head supervisor
Because right
of
now
the
the
department
ministers of government
that
right
you have
now,
no clue about.
not just about policy, them are not even about policy, them are about directly getting themselves
Yeah,
involved in
they are
everything.
the head supervisor of departments that they have no clue about.
To strength for what Pyro,
Square pegs, you know.
to strength for what Pyro says.
A lot of that thing by Dominica.
Too much.
Lot of that.
Places going there. Imagine today, boy, one thing, man, crucial, you know. The man that I just wonder what type of human beings they be. Because see that Patrick John, my brother, regardless of what people will, you will have supporters and you will not have people have
Everybody have their followers.
Because the devil have supporters.
Yeah.
Right?
Everybody have their followers.
So, you know. Okay. Today I just overheard his wife calling and talk about a condition he is in, that is in. As a man that brought Dominica independence for. That is really bad.
True.
Yeah.
It is really bad.
For real.
Put politics aside.
Mm-hmm.
It's very,
I see
very
that
bad.
earlier in
And
the
as a
book of
people,
Patrick John.
if you are a human, if you you know, you all of us are flesh and blood,
Yeah, man.
and we can all fall sick sometime. We have to be empathetic about those situations there.
True.
You cannot see people suffer. You know, people are
And rejoice
even
about
if,
it
let's say,
again.
I wasn't there in Patrick John. I born just a little after. But even if, like, he maybe do certain things
It
that
impact
he didn't
you?
like, but he didn't kill people. I don't even kill nobody. I mean, like, the dread acting was going on at the time. Okay, boom. Them things slide. Give him a favor. You know?
No,
Let him
just
off.
because of the role he
At some
played.
point,
How you
want to
treat
go
people
for
is
us.
not a reflection of them, you know. It's a reflection of you.
And I
So-
just feel like they doing that because he was in support of the
Yeah,
government
but
at the time.
what does that say about you?
Yeah, so it's suffering victimization.
See, them are just wicked, boy.
Yeah,
Man,
man.
wicked is out there.
Wicked. It's wicked.
Because just like you say, Patrick John was in their support and their
Yes.
side. He would never be going through what he's
So
going
you have
through.
to suffer.
That's something else, boy.
You have to suffer because you didn't suffer. That's slavery, my brother. Slavery again.
You know, today,
And we should,
primitive.
and we
That's
should
what I
never,
say.
we should never stay there and be in support of going
Correct.
back
Yeah.
to being slaves again. You see, okay, I got use one reference again. You see the word nigger that come from slave trade and all that nigger kind of vibes there. That's the same thing that happening there now again. Coming back to that way where we'll accept ourselves being niggers once more. We don't want a white man to call us nigger, we'll punch him down. We'll allow a
Each
next
one
black
another
person
to call
to
you
call
nigger.
each other nigger. It's just like this victimization. That's why I see the victimization happening there. You eating, okay. Those that don't want to follow us, well,
Yeah.
they are this and that.
Yeah, we,
Just like
yeah,
condemn
we
niggers.
slavery, yeah, you're right, my brother. That happened, boy.
Done them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, don't give them
That's the
food.
segregation
partiality,
that taking place.
no
Partiality.
Stay hungry.
Modernized
Yeah.
slavery.
Yeah, man. Real deal.
Modernized slavery now.
That's why they tell, man. You see, when I watch that, you see how they're talking about that. Whether I stay Cuba and I watch that. See, anytime in Cuba, they call you anti-revolutionary. Your whole life finishing.
Anti-revolutionary.
Yeah, man. Anti-Castro, anti-revolutionary. That is it for you. You might just disappear. And nobody might never ever see or hear about you again.
So you have to be in support of Castro.
As long as you're not in support of Castro, you're going to be victimized, you're going to be discriminated against. And that is the same exact thing that happening in Dominica.
That called you.
As long as you're not in support of Roosevelt's
I
spirit.
know Castro people taking a serious stand on him.
Yes, right now the people rising up against him.
No, you're
It's
supposed to be free. You're not supposed
Yeah,
to-
all
you're
now
not
it have
supposed
the
to-
movement,
you're not
San
supposed to-
Isidro in Havana, Luis Ortega and them man
Nice, I
there.
watch that.
Yeah man, them
Castro
man,
himself don't resign.
Castro dying.
Raúl.
Well,
No,
Raúl resigned.
now somebody made a statement saying that, you know, once the political party, when they vie and the thing and then they win, when they come in government, they are no longer political party. It's no longer political party, it's a government. But you're not going to, the people and them that they are still politicians, so they're going to still continue politicking because that is their job, that is their profession. They are politicians. So whether they once they, even in the government or not, they're going to continue to be in that political strategy and political science and political.
Yeah, but
That is our problem.
But take for instance the membership to be a membership of the party that in power. you have a membership card now.
Yeah, they have membership card.
What utter rubbish is that? You know what I mean? That is politicking right through.
You see, Buju was saying
Check
something
us.
about
Only thing
the
is people want to
American
know is how many people
Constitution.
are voting for them and how many people are against them, you know.
The American Constitution has a feature that acknowledges corporations alongside foreign entities. So, when you talk about a threat of a foreign power, a corporation can be classified within that realm, but we don't have that. So what we have basically is we will be on the guard against other nations, and we'll talk about the Pledge of Allegiance and all of that, but we're not acknowledging that right now we have corporations that are as powerful as sovereign nations. And what is to say that the Labour Party is not a corporation that has infiltrated and taken hold of our country, because it have Labour Party all over the region, you know, my brother.
Yeah, man.
And our primitive thinking not putting us on our toes to be able to deal with that problem. Because that is a threat to our sovereignty when you have a corporation taking hold of us, brother. The people don't know what deadly waters they're playing in, and you have all this international thing going on.
Big shops.
And people don't know.
My boy, you know that's so sad about even what you see there. Yeah, but you see what that's sad about what we see in there, my brother.
Don't to make that move.
That's why you see it's a generation problem, you know, because now why you see it's a generation problem, eh? These are the people that teach us principle and morals and ethics, you know, man.
Yeah, man.
These are the people that will be on a Sunday. One or two of them will stand up outside church and make sure all young boys and girls go inside to church, you know, my boy.
Valerie.
They don't send you to stay outside.
Layman Valerie.
You can't be on the road. It was difficult. Some man used to make two back, but it was difficult to make two back, you know.
Yeah, well, they come in and get you. School,
even from church, from school, anything, because you want, boy. Even the mother see me, there's trouble, boy. You have to hide. You understand?
Because even a man that just
so when you have to watch this type of people, they know,
what 10 o'clock in your uniform on the road, what you doing there?
I tell you.
A man must pull you up and check. Right now it's like, then you on the road 10 o'clock in the uniform.
I like now too. I like now feeling.
But before you mad, if you make a two back, you have to go and hide yourself somewhere.
No, my problem is that's why my problem is now. These are the people now I see that in bed with the corruption, my boy.
Yeah, you have the same.
These are the people that try to tell me they light into darkness.
Like man like the bishop. The bishop make a big statement
for George Floyd. What about Slobby?
And Slobby Berry, Catholic Church. Newton Fatima, Catholic Church.
But I saw
a joint statement
we have to be really
from the OECS bishops and blah 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 blah. That didn't come from him personally.
Yes, man.
No, it did not.
Boss, listen to this statement. The man
it did not come from him personally.
As the head, he felt.
Yes.
He felt.
You see what Pyro said there? I watched the
man say he felt like. How he say?
Danny paper, my brother.
He doesn't usually.
Well,
not
I put that on it. Okay, I post that on our page. I post that on our page.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yes.
As the head of whatever organization.
Yes, I saw it. I heard it.
To the bishop,
yeah. He feel like he had to come out and
as the head of the organization, meaning the organization is speaking. He didn't speak, my brother. Understand what I say? Understand me. Mr. hasn't spoken. Mr. never wanted to speak. The OECS bishops and them really hold on. No, don't cut me short. Let me finish. That George Floyd come just like the 70s of Black Power, my brother. It come and it sweep, and people react to it. You see, that's a different kind of fight. People fight against the government. In the 70s, it was about Black Power and black people taking what is theirs. That is what had infect the country, the world. George Floyd my brother, Mr. Don't speak on Judge Floyd. Mr. just forced to make a
But
statement.
police brutality affecting the whole world right now.
But we have a greater problem.
Police brutality affecting the whole world
We have-
even if you see the man
Whether
come
he
out and
was
make
able
a
to
statement
speak
for the
on
organization,
behalf of the organization.
but he is the head of the organization.
On behalf of the Catholic Church. Whatever
making a
it is,
statement.
he spoke in his capacity as a bishop.
Thanks a lot, Pyro.
And he spoke as a bishop.
Thanks a lot, Pyro.
He spoke in the capacity of being a bishop.
Yes.
Presently,
Yes. Thanks
he's
a lot,
still
my brother.
a bishop.
Yes.
A bishop has to deal with ethics, morality,
And what?
so on.
Okay.
He's the head of the Catholic Church. Slobby was buried in the Catholic Church. You check?
Not in no other denomination, eh?
In the Catholic Church.
Thanks a lot, my brother.
You check? He's the head of the Catholic Church in Dominica. You check?
And you do come
So
out and
if-
speak.
Whether you want to do it,
Paul Rep do talking. Nobody do talking
You
about
check.
that now.
none
Slobby
of
not
them
a dog
man
by
want
the
to
OD.
condemn what happening.
It's clearly there is a hush-hush
Yeah, man.
situation
Of
going on with
course,
that
of course.
Slobby situation.
Big
And
time.
it happened with the guy down Portsmouth,
Yeah.
and then it going on. And
Even
going
the
on.
Vinci man they
Keep going
kill,
on.
the dealer partner, you check.
A lot of useless killing going on, and they keeping it on a hush-hush.
And they're using the ignorance of people to prevent people from having to getting information on cases against the police.
Yeah.
It's just like that situation with Slobby and them. Or you can tell the family, oh, the report,
Of their
death
autopsy.
report of their youth, you're not giving it to them because it have to go to court. But that is them people evidence going to court. So in whose interest you going to court? In whose interest, and when that court case is going to finish, for them people to get that
Justice.
justice?
You understand?
Whose interest?
Yeah.
That case supposed to
When
change.
they go to court,
A
they
man
supposed
been
to
buried.
get-
They
But
don't know
then-
that.
No, but it's like you're blind
But they
to
tell you that's supposed to
the
be
evidence
They
that
just,
belongs
they
to
just
you.
never bury a boy. One thing I can tell you. That is why I'm telling you that we can never, I will never stop putting pressure on that system.
Justice delayed is justice.
Not just
denied,
that,
you know.
not just that, but you cannot bury a body without an autopsy report, my boy.
Yeah.
I hope you all know that, You
No, like for
cannot
instance,
But they
bury
have
a
it.
body
Something happened.
without an autopsy report.
have one.
So if that body's been buried, that means the autopsy report has been released, but the family members
But
say
they are
they haven't
telling
get
you,
no,
man,
they haven't get the report. The police
not
blocking
giving
it from the
report,
family.
saying that giving the report, making it public, will somehow prejudice the case, so they have it.
Yeah.
So waiting to go to court or to deal in secret on matter.
so you
Why they don't take the matter to court?
So in whose behalf? If it's not the family that want to get justice, it's not the police are taking police workers to court. It's not the police welfare commission that taking the police to court. It's the families who are going to be taking the police to court based on what they read in the autopsy report, in the medical report, and you find a way
Would have seen that.
to cocoa market the vibes so then people will not get
What
it.
tell them that now? The police.
The police.
The same people that
The police.
the people that they have taken to court.
Check it like they
Say Munla, the people that are taking to court and the people are telling you you cannot get your autopsy because it is in court. But I have a record, man. So it's like I know
They
this.
will hear
You
that.
taking me to court and I have the evidence me. I tell you.
protect you.
So they don't
The
give the
police shall
family
not
the autopsy.
be incriminating themselves in court. They doing a scary.
Timal.
They will not provide
Oh,
evidence to
but they don't
incriminate
do the
themselves.
autopsy. They are not the ones doing the autopsy.
But it's not they are doing the autopsy. And for you to make a determination for what was committed, you the family have to read the report. For what I know, let's just say, the medical report say he died of heart attack.
Yeah.
You cannot.
So now you, the family is supposed to read heart attack and say, well, you know what?
Yeah, we cannot pursue that. Yeah.
Let alone.
Okay, heart
Alright,
attack.
heart attack.
Okay, with the medical report,
Yeah,
we
but
don't
what
challenge
led
it.
to the attack?
No, we don't challenging that blah 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 because it said that.
Oh.
But if you don't give those
What
people
circumstance?
the medical reports, how do they get to make the decision whether or not they pursue their case or they just so you know what in the line of duty, or they can the man get it. Or you second like wait a minute, guys, to this and that and what kind of bullshit is that?
But you deny the people closure, my brother.
You deny the people justice, my brother.
It's just like
You upholding ignorance.
it's just like when somebody go missing. And you never find the person.
It's like it
Never
in your mind, your mind never
you can always see
addressed.
something like
Maui, I was on a Maui.
They tell young people to pray. So
what was the cause? You'll always be in the your mind always telling you things, you know.
Yeah, man.
The family will never be at rest on
Yeah,
that
man.
case.
even
That is really sick, my brother.
Of course, boy.
Yeah, that's
Those things
sickness.
should
But
not
protecting them
anymore.
but even the names of the police who are suspects in a murder
Yeah.
supposed to be released, but somehow it been protected against the public. And that cannot be.
Yes,
That cannot be prejudicing no case for the public to know who are the potential culprits of a crime, because no ghetto man there's been potential criminal
Yes.
situation.
Example.
So Tyrone caused the crime, but all of us was together. But you see, four of us picture in the newspaper.
My partner people, yeah.
Until
They're giving you
whenever.
whole history.
My partner people
No,
was looking for
And also for man in the
and
ghetto.
even his case and
When the case over is, then we'll know when it's Tyrone. But for the time
Yeah.
being, all of us picture up is all of us ice cream crime.
Yeah.
Why it doesn't say that prejudice in the case?
yeah.
So how it prejudice in the case for a police that caused a crime?
Yeah. You're a suspect, my brother. You know, it's alleged that it's you, so
You is a
you have to be aware in case
And
it's true.
the investigation, the court system will prevail and say whether or not
Yeah,
who
man.
is the man not guilty
Well,
or what not.
corruption.
Right. Lead investigators who
Davidson, Betty Crit, Valerie.
Man, I cannot do that right.
Jack, dotish man that leading. No understanding, no comprehension. But how you lead in a scientific case and you don't have comprehension, you don't have understanding? Huh? For you to deal in science, you must have comprehension and you
an
must have
organization and to
understanding.
give a talk about my brother, the Police Welfare Association,
Man,
Them man there, my brother. Them man there, my brother. It's one thing to defend the police in the line of duty. But when them man step out of the gate, my brother, and
Yes,
do a
man.
thing like Swabby, when you
can't- you
speak
can't
up for
uphold that.
justice,
Because
you
that
don't try
will
and
really
defend the man against that kind of rubbish, my brother.
You
You don't
think I want
defend
to
that.
be able to defend
You
the police,
speak
my brother.
in support of the family and you still speak in support of the police. Come on, man.
Them
100
man raising
days.
funds
A whole crook idea.
get
You're playing
them
Lucky
out.
7 by
The man take
Charlie.
the man take the police to
Impact
court.
report.
You can't lose.
But because the
Impact
police
report.
bring in CARICOM impacts to investigate. The police suddenly have the commissioner of police suddenly have confidence in his men that he sent for foreign
Valerie.
assistance. Because Valerie give leading.
So my question is, what's so different about that case than other cases that happen already?
Police.
That they have to get foreign police
But that one involving police.
because they involve
So the one,
Yes,
the one enforcement they involve police. then.
So because like they didn't want no tampering, they wanted to go so unbiased. That's why they get involved.
Well, I would want to think.
That's
If
why I was
you're
getting
going
to
so
that.
unbiased, I would expect suspects and charges to be dropped after 100 days because them man leave the country probably like a 50 days ago, and yet no charges
Yeah.
and no names of suspects have been brought to the public. So we have a police cover up 150%, my brother.
Don't you think that could happen for
I
you?
always say when you delay in the truth.
You think that could happen for you?
It's not the justice. It's
For
not the
anybody,
justice
boy.
in itself.
You think that could happen to an ordinary city? Like a,
Injustice,
Right
my
there,
brother.
when
cause I think Maggie could have killed, they say Maggie killed a man and
so long
up to now.
My
a
brother.
whole 100
100
police
plus.
are killed. Huh? Watch that.
We there.
Last year, we make a video, huh? And talk about the vibes in the country and how we want to see and what we want to see and how we see our views on what happened in Dominica. It don't take 2 weeks. Police come at all of us there home with big machine gun with
Yeah, we tried.
free
Investigating.
Yeah,
free
we tried.
vehicles loaded up
Oh,
police
yeah,
officers
boy.
with machine gun,
Oh, and they must be
bulletproof
public.
vests.
No charges.
Military fatigues. Like your son says, Vietnam them man was going, remember, the Afghanistan or one of them spot and fight war with. Your son says some high time and what? Man, that's their simple.
So this police, they have got no pride or dignity.
No.
Nothing like that.
A man died, police custody.
They follow the
Nobody
puppets. They like
arrested.
the puppets. They like when
Oh,
they're
that's something
stringing
else.
in
That's
the-
scary, you know, Rasta.
Of course it's
Yo,
scary,
that's
man.
scary. You know why that's scary so much? You know why that's so scary? Because the way the police behave, that's how the police just deal with like a scuffle, like trying to
They're vicious.
break a conflict. So they died when it's something about Buju.
Yeah,
7-8 men are fighting Buju.
They
Two
don't have-
man having a fight.
I mean,
And 7-8 points, Butu, swinging Butu. The
I
bus
see that.
driver, same thing.
Yeah, I see that.
So
them
therefore,
them man like animals.
if-
I don't know. I some
Boy,
good police
that give them an
officers-
authority to kill me, brother.
Yeah,
and
but dogs doesn't
I
back at
mean,
each other again. You realize
That
that?
is why.
innocent people
Dogs
there.
doesn't behave
That is
too.
why we have to continue going around, educating the people. Because
And mark you.
see, and make the people realize that the power
Yes.
that's in the hands of we the people
Yeah.
is greater than in the hands of the politician, it's greater than in the hands of the same police force that
yeah.
we think, you know.
Yeah.
So it's just we knowledge in ourselves
But we
and make up our mind. You see today, okay, we go in also and we go and fix people by the politician and ask the police to join on each other, the public, to arrest the stupid fellas because we can't want the country go down the drain.
no, brother.
If they fail to do their work, we have to uphold the law. As a people, we have to save our country.
But Tola, yeah,
We have to act.
before you drop that there, Maggie, you see, that was why I was maintaining that we have to win the police over. That is
But
the,
I'm telling you,
they
the
have a
police
duty, you know,
protect.
because
But of
remember,
course,
in the transition of power, the authority of the state vested in the police, you know, my brother.
of course.
If all the
They want to
interim and
uphold
thing
the
we're
law.
talking about there, but the police chief, the commissioner, they have like Buju say, he have ultimate power.
Yeah.
Well,
Which I say,
you have to search within his conscience.
yes, you have to be a
Like they say,
my brother.
like they say, you can
We have to update it.
Yes, you have people in other countries, even in Dominica, throw around the phrase constitutional crisis. Like, you know, a little thing happen, we're gonna end up in a constitutional crisis like that. Bro,
Guy in the last year.
no. We living
Yeah.
in a
a
total state
Yeah, man.
of constitutional crisis.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Break that for
Taiwan say the
Commissioner.
commissioner,
Yeah.
bro, when we flush the toilet, even he have to go.
Of course. But I think
Them man have created
that is one of the biggest no
total
It's because of the lack of
constitutional
confidence in
crisis, my brother. You have to get rid of a president.
yes.
You have to get rid of a whole government, my
Yeah.
brother.
Yeah.
Not just a prime minister.
The whole-
Because everyone that upholding him in
Yeah.
government, aiding,
Everyone.
aiding and abetting
Abetting.
first against the Dominican people.
Yeah, man.
Yes, I.
You have to get rid of the head of the judiciary, whoever is head of the other fuckers that happened in there, that court system there.
Yeah.
It tainted.
Flush it.
Enough for that shit.
To allow what you do
We
not
need a
to
system
go
we can
to
be
flush it.
confident in, my brother.
We are FIU to flush out
Flush.
that idiot Marcus
Flush.
I
Ferrell
don't
inside
anarchy.
there.
I don't anarchy in my country, you know, my
But
brother.
my brother is not you that bring it to anarchy.
This
Is
guy-
I love my PM and them that bring it to anarchy.
guy,
And
yeah.
the electoral commission,
Yeah.
total fucking wreck, my brother. So them gonna have
Lot
wrecked
of institutions.
Lack
and
of confidence.
derailed
They
Yeah,
don't
right.
understand
every
that their duty.
institution. So wait,
To maintain
we take on the
confidence
prime minister, the
and
speaker of the house going and become
confidence.
prime minister, man.
Yeah.
So we're gonna allow the speaker of the house to become prime minister if we shall be in the
No, man.
government and
No,
together.
man.
Because in the line of success,
You have a
the
chance.
speaker have a line of power before the police. But he is part of the corruption that have to go. That man just create a situation that is a total.
That's why I say you have to give them amnesty. Now is the time to stand up and talk. Come out and clear your conscience.
Boy, clear your conscience, boy. Prison
Which
man
I
have to
telling
take
you.
you, but under
Yeah.
prison and to see.
Yes,
Oh, I'm
well,
telling you.
Under prison and to see, man.
And
my brother.
to-
Well,
and-
so I did it better be like
well,
nice jail.
I have to
Yeah,
be the
man.
voice.
Good for
I have
the
to
good
be
God.
I have to be the voice of giving them a little voice of appeal for them still, to let them know that it still have a little time.
Oh, no, so better
Bojo.
be like
Prison.
Because fellas,
You know what amnesty
Yeah,
is
the
and be
Best
resigned
make up their
tomorrow.
mind now and
Yeah.
they should
Because anyone we
decide.
reach and we have to force them out. there shall be no amnesty. In fact, Tyrone, we will make a special law that there will be no statutes of limitations for the crimes committed under that party.
Yeah, man.
We will change the laws and make them retroactive, so we can trap man in the crimes they think they didn't commit and they get away that actually
Charles Savre, you have to go jail, you know.
They don't have no getting away if we come in.
Charles Savre, you have to go jail, you know, Charles Savre.
No pity, no
Understand nothing, you know, Charles Savre. You have to go jail, you know, Charles Savre. Not too old, you know. You're supposed to be in jail, you know.
The money we pay Charles Savre as illegal president, you have to reimburse the state with that money. All of it has to come back. Every
And I'm mentioning about that, no papi show na boy. And no papi show na boy. When the man talking,
I am charging somebody one have to go court on June 24th. Man have to face their court days and man have to fit themselves under the prison. No mercy.
are you crazy?
Immunity.
And there's them kind of thing, the gimmick, we paint in the jail blue, or we paint in the jail with the politician. Don't let that happen this time around. Now, serious people, serious business, I tell them.
to do that, I have to
Boy.
conversations. You check me, people need to hear them things
I
there.
don't do your amnesty. If you talk
need
about
to hear
amnesty,
them
I put you in prison for them man, with them man. You go in
No, when them
I charge you
they
with
cannot-
betting.
And for do too much wickedness.
Yes.
Anyhow you call for amnesty, I charging you with
So people only hear
criminal
the lack of
organization.
confidence.
To the people, boy.
Only hear the lack of confidence and the depths it going to. No confidence in the police. No confidence for justice. No confidence no confidence in our representatives.
Just in a sad state.
I don't feel it's them man around us that put that thing there, that have some big sharks out there that controlling that thing there. I don't think the man's bright enough to put them man put every place. Them man put their people and the caution there, you know. That just sitting down there just do what they want them to do, huh?
Them man working overtime, you know, boy, thinking about what.
No man. Some is the person not financing them.
You check.
You think it's the person that financing
Yeah man,
them?
this big billionaire that's financing them too.
You have a point.
Yeah man, it's them people at the back there that telling them man, this is what you have to do. Yeah man. Yes. He might thinking about. Yeah man, the lawyers, you know, the Tony, the Alec, these people that smack that write the book. It's these fellas. Yeah, but the head honcho is the man that passing the money to for the people and make
Campaign
people
finances.
relax themselves so they can do all what they do in there.
No, only Tony Astafan.
Yes.
Before Scary talk, Tony Astafan
Right.
talk to. And that's when Scary talking. But
You check, I telling
now
you.
you do it, Tony, because you know what time it is.
Well, the people and them that behind them, I sorry for them, you know. But them fellas here, the cake they gonna bite there,
You lose some cases.
yeah,
So he's like,
they have to suffer the consequences.
Yeah,
They consider his strength
Yeah.
weakening now.
for sure.
No boy.
There are some cases. So
Yeah.
You see, and
Right now, I believe to me, when I look at the situation, I just check. It's time that we the people is us, man. You check? So
Yeah,
it's
they're the
because the
problem.
total system corrupted, you know. The total system. So
yes, every single
going to
facet.
the system and appealing to them, man, about boy, you know, try to change all your ways. Or
Ah, wow, yeah, correct. It's hard work.
like that itself is just a waste of
Waste of time, yeah.
Because,
You have to tell
Them fellas lost.
everybody come outside.
yeah,
Everybody from captain down
that's
to
why,
cook.
you know,
Come outside.
Tell them go outside, boy. I do spray the place and all rubbish.
Yeah, then festive, man, then festive.
I say get a spray them like road trip.
Big one, man, big one, man. I'm going to do Saban and pretty big one.
So you have to call pest and termite there.
So long I tell you that.
Jacob.
Good job.
Ay, ay, ay.
Hold on a while. Buju, I didn't tell you that the first time. I didn't tell you that the first time, and you tell me you thought Biggs might take that job. I tell you, Biggs can never do take the job.
Yeah, your house
It's
is
paid, getting paid.
Yeah.
We need Breaker to do a serious job. I can hold on, I can get the collection and walks up.
Yes.
Walks up, say it, you know.
Yeah.
Let's give Vico the job. All rat rows will die. All rat rows will die. What come on? Let's give Vico the job.
Yes, I.
It does ready, does blue, pain.
So that is what has to be done.
You
Yeah.
need to kill some rats, you know.
You have to
Too much
spread
of
it.
them dirty rat running in the place. They
Yeah,
come up in
man.
the place.
You have to spray on the building.
Can't customize the cat running. Cat even running for them can rat.
We must do that. We must do that. That's the only way. If you don't do
Because
that,
it's the only hope we
Right,
have for the
Tom.
rat Vico.
Yeah, man, when you look at the situation, and it's just like what Bojo says
Press control.
nicely, we're in a constitutional crisis. man.
Yes, I.
You check.
Yeah.
yes, sir.
And it's real. I mean, the constitution has been. And. The thing about it, them thing is not doubt. Like to say you can sit down and doubt whether that happened for true. We know for certain fact that our constitution has been violated.
Yeah, man.
Numerous occasions, my brother. Not one thing, man. Numerous occasions.
But as long as they remain in their positions, it's violated, brother.
And yeah, is by doing them things is what that bringing the constitutional crisis. You check. So yes, we're in a constitutional crisis, and it's on we the people to take up the civic duty, the civic responsibility to correct things.
And you see 79, that same month May that all that coming up to that. You see what happened that time? Is right now it worse. Now it had enough big man. Remember Patrick don't take jail, you know.
Yeah.
As a prime minister, you know, leader, prime minister.
For how much money?
For less than 200.
But I just make
For how much money?
They had arrested Patrick John for different attempting.
okay, but I don't really what all I know the prime minister was end up stock farm, right?
Yeah.
Patrick John.
For state funds.
That's why I don't care what.
No. Listen
Yes,
to
yes,
Maggie.
Tola,
Hold on,
that don't
Maggie,
Yeah, but
Maggie.
Tola,
Everyone
my
make
point
his
is trying to make
point.
there.
Everyone
It
make
don't
his
matter for what.
point.
It don't matter for what. I don't care for what.
All right,
I just want Skeleton Man to know a prime minister go jail, brother. Don't believe all you too big for jail. That's my point. I don't care for what. You check, I'm telling you, all those people are wrong. Patrick John, that was involved in all kind of couple, they take jail too. So all those people, Valerian, the commissioner, right? All those soldiers and all those cautioning that are wrong him, thinking there is high and mighty bull passing by there. Stock farm, Patrick John and his people go there. Zokali la, eh? Remember that, Rasta.
But Maggie, you know, what I saying is I respect what you're saying, you know. But according to our partner there, you are telling you how much money the man go jail for.
Yeah, but what Maggie talking about there?
I respect what Maggie saying.
For a coup.
He go for jail for a coup too.
Right.
But he had never forget that he went to jail for state funds also, you know. And we have a prime minister there, stealing state funds left, right, and center, and thinking he can't make jail for state funds.
The man
And
basically.
it's not. How much again? You say $18?
So that like so like you take it.
$18 million. $18.
$18.
Still easy though.
$18 and a prime minister make jail. That's why I telling Maggie that it is a significant thing, you know, Maggie.
Yes, yes, correct.
Yeah,
It
but
is a significant thing, Maggie. That's why I telling you.
So he deserves jail.
What?
Quicker
okay,
and a lot more. The key have to lose. What you do the country, boy.
Yeah. Patrick John, he make jail for state funds and the city man could have give a come for him. How he want. And them same criminals, that make Patrick John make jail for the $18, they don't have scary thieving more of the country money.
I see the man explain that today on the radio. I don't know when he made that statement, but talking about the airport and MMCE, and you know they're going to be spending the money and doing it, and the country they're going the treasury they're going to feel it like as if it's MMCE money they're using, and then he come in and say no. When they do this and that, then they have to now take the CBI program and to go out and sell the passports to do the work. Whose passport? Not our passport, never our resources. So, yes, it look like it's a private thing, Rasta. And to me, they own. It's Anthony alone.
Every time he back against the wall, all you hear is something pass it.
And the man saying, anybody that have any better idea of how to fund the airport, tell them to come and bring it forward. Way.
People are believing that the most the reason Mount
That's not charity. That's not charity.
That mountain Dominic
It had time when the airport was priority. Right now, I know state we are right now, the airport is not a priority, brother. People work for people.
But it's all those kind of names that kind of, I think, kind of holds back to Mount Diablo and all them fuck up on them. Mount Pedita and them kind of names.
Fuck up kind of.
But that all is back.
Them kind of
That's the history.
People there with 12 people.
That holding us back in Dominica. Old firing mentality.
the ego here.
Ego.
We live in those
Mindset.
I can't tell you something.
Like to just man in jacket and tie.
Tell you, hold on.
You see there, I personal there.
Where?
There, where we going there. You know why we have a problem too with that again, my brother? Because tall men in our society, we just ridicule them. We just make them have to stoop down to be shot like us because we can't so celebrate another man's greatness. You check me?
I agree.
When a man not ghetto like us, we just find it funny. You understand?
Whoever.
So it does be in our society. So you just actually have to, if you're a man that educated, you just have to actually become a damn fool. And you just have to actually deny your own self to fit in that kind of fucked up, sorry my language, in that kind of twisted society we have there, my brother. You understand?
It's just like a partner might tell me, a younger partner, you tell me, boy, Billy boy.
Your mind, you cannot
to make it there, you have to act with
elevation, man.
You have to act like you're a damn fool. Like
that is a serious thing, Mr.
Well, you're right.
Something I had comment on.
It's true.
You know it better and you have to act like you don't know fucking better.
And the man tell me about we're going for a little back and forth, and then so I go in his inbox.
I was scratching my brains to KG, but no, you have me, I understand.
Billy boy, I know what you're saying.
Correct.
But you're in there, you have to act like you're retarded.
They tell, and so they tell.
Don't make sense.
And I got them.
Hold on,
Not to make sense.
Wait, you're correct.
You know what that is? It's the same thing it coming down to, you know, the same abuse, you know. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, abuse
Because
of knowledge.
It's not just knowledge, it's abuse of authority.
Yeah.
By the time you see you
correct.
give a man authority, he feels to himself.
Yeah, man, you're correct.
And we have a culture of that kind of a thing. That is why when man talk about a man coming a jacket and tie, it's not really the literal term jacket and tie, but the authority figure, that concept that we grew up with.
Yes.
Yes, they make you the boss, so you have authority.
Yeah, man.
And you can do what you want, who you want, and what I tell you to do is that you're supposed to do. And nobody not supposed to tell me nothing. No man not supposed to oppose what I say.
And that is what
the culture. That is where we have that.
You're correct.
Moun Séwyè,
Like, no, and Moses-
why he would act like that? It's the same way come back to me because he knows, and that is what Moun Séwyè trying to tell the people. You have to know. That is knowledge. They know what is the authority figure and how to act. So why are they go keep down the mass and act like that?
That is why man have to act dumb, because now at the end of the day you want to appease to the man that above you. So you bow your head now and you don't to challenge nothing Mr. tell you. So just act dumb and go with what Mr. tell you, and Mr. go to fix your thing for you.
Yeah, man, like slavery that there.
Yeah, but of course, and today,
He's not elevating.
Today, where Nasty Boy go by team, what they call it in the E-zone. You check Nasty Boy myself went by E-zone. So why is we there? I read anything on the wall about human trafficking and all them kind of a thing, and not showing you about ways to identify people that going through human trafficking and everything. Showing you somebody might be, people will be silenced, afraid to speak, and them. By going for the list and I checking all them things our government doing us in Dominica way. Tell the people talk now. Speak against the government. Come and do what we do in them.
Plenty of them cannot do that.
Huh?
This is biting them.
But you, in your work, you losing your job.
This is biting
Oh,
them.
them and brother, drink
Them man victimizing you
biting
one
them.
time with my brother. You madman.
Huh? Them man rather dread you that talking.
Yeah, you're correct.
Yeah, man.
Them man rather
Correct.
dread you. Eh?
I get
the
that.
man that raise up around you,
Yeah,
people
man.
get to itself.
Yeah.
And as ghetto man,
And they
raise up.
see and they know what you say
They
in the
see,
street.
they come in and they telling you things about you trying to be political and trying to make you feel what? Because maybe their family member get something.
Yes.
Or they
It's
like-
true.
Or they in line for something,
Yeah,
so they don't want to blockade that. Something they can go and something they can see. The man lost faith in themselves.
Yes.
They're supposed to get it by themselves, you know.
Yeah.
But because they can get a little blind to get it. Oh, don't talk about the government like, oh, you're too political or trying to make you feel bad.
Yeah.
Because you're talking truth that,
Yeah, man.
but that might spoil
Yeah,
what they can
the
get.
thing they-
What
they
can-
perceive,
the thing
yeah.
they can get as a handout.
Yeah.
You know, it can be a scholarship.
Yeah.
It can be.
What kind of
it
petty
can be
What kind of
intangible,
nonsense?
but you know,
Yeah.
and that is what man lost faith
His
in
own
himself.
self. Yeah, correct.
So as always say,
Not
we
that
lose
you tell the
confidence
pastor,
as a
Maggie.
people and we have to get back our confidence
Maggie,
as a
not that you
people.
tell the pastor.
Yes, Rasta.
Not that you
Can
tell
I tell the pastor, eh? Pastor, we can do it. Look, we got us.
Boy, so I'm
ordinary
going
guys.
to pass him, my
That
man,
man tell
boys.
me, but that shocked me, boy. I say, what you mean now? You mean no, man, brother?
Let us
So you
do
don't
some
believe,
nice
so you don't
stuff,
believe we
boy.
can do it then? Boy tell me, yeah, you know, boy, it's a hard task, you know, boy. This is kind of money them man out there passing, boy. You just come in the church and the level have faith, boy, in Jesus, boy, and you'll be safe, boy.
No, you see what Pyro was saying, yeah? I grew up as a youth man, right? I can give a good example of what Pyro was saying. I grew up as a youth man, knowing my grandmother was on our back. Hello, make sure you go to school and learn. Come and do all your homework and things because you see me. I don't have no GC, I don't have no level. We're already taking all like 50 cents to send all to school to learn and to be make something out of all yourself. Okay. Remember what you're telling us, you're sending us school to learning, to educate ourselves. Now, if I sit down and I hear somebody telling my grandmother some foolishness because they know the level of ignorance that she has, but I know my grandmother sent me to school to learn.
Yeah.
I know she ignorant already, so I have to defend her. But still trying to defend her is a problem because
Yeah.
come back to what Pyro say, the culture in them people of Mr. So-and-so is
Yeah.
that in charge, and when they say this,
Yeah.
is that
Yeah.
whatever they say,
Yeah.
is that who is you?
Yeah.
Well, we
They don't even
Who
have
is
confidence in your
you
knowledge.
to be telling them what Mr. saying is a lie?
Knowledge they pay
But
for.
they're ready to put you outside.
Knowledge they pay for.
They're ready
They
to
don't
bust
have
your
confidence.
head.
Yeah.
They're ready to do plenty of things because Mr. saying there's something there and to them is that is right.
Yeah.
But you go school and you see what that's going on. So that's why I'm telling you long time I know that is the problem we have because it's not now I have that problem, you know, with the system we living in, you know, my boy. You know I live with my grandmother, you
Yeah,
know,
man.
and you know the amount of problem I've been having with my grandmother and it's just because of the system, you know. And people I seen that supposed to be upholding law and order and supposed to be showing right from wrong and these kind of things, condoning the wrong things and coming and lie to these people like you.
Bro, long time they lie. and
Long time.
Long they calling Dominicans.
Long time they do
sure
that
that?
to our people, brother.
There-
Long time.
There's a particular some
Long
business people in
time.
Dominica that used to give our grandparents fridge and stove for land, you know.
You're correct.
Fridge and stove for
Freedom
land.
stove.
Something that was already in the world, out in the world, but we get it last.
Yeah.
So by the time they squeezing it, they're making it coming like as if it's pearls.
Oh, man.
So now for you to afford that, you have to give me a piece of land for a
Yeah,
stove.
man, the value of
Our
it. Yeah.
fridge.
You check what I'm saying? And
Like
you
the
see
long
because
game and play the
you
mental
figure
trick on the
Man, I
people.
said they
my
will
boy.
understand the
and the
value
people
of
have
the
the
value,
value
right, it's a
of
culture
of
problem,
land
my
and so
boy.
as you know, and the knowledge. So what they doing? I want to stop going on stove, on stone, cooking on free stones. And you get in a stove.
Yeah.
Tell you, okay, look at acre there for the stove. You check I mean, you know, so long they taking advantage of Dominicans, and it's something that trickle down from grandparents to their kids, and then the kids pass it on But we need a cycle thing.
We have to break the cycle. We have to break the cycle.
We have to break the cycle.
Yeah, I was saying today that we need to break that cycle.
Yeah, man.
And that what is going to break that cycle is the same division thing that we have. We divided and we need to come back together. And that is what it is. Unless we don't come back together as a people, because if not any politicians and the best interest was to be together.
No.
Because they cannot achieve what they want to achieve if we together. So it is in there. But that's why another party forming not a help, brother. A new party forming is not a help. It will make it worse.
And let me add something to that. And when you see, I used to watch people like my grandmother and these people that had so much faith in the church and always praying, always rolling their rosary and everything like that. And praying for those criminals there.
Yeah, boy.
You know, it's a monster that people create.
Correct.
And don't even know it's a monster they create.
Correct. And now the monster is.
You trying to tell them about
You
it.
man, what say?
You the worst thing, you know, my boy.
Correct.
Boy, it reached to the point where I tell my grandmother and my boy at time,
Correct.
when people like her and others die in their age group, that's when Dominica will change, you know.
And you know what again? You see that what Tola said
Another
there?
thing I telling you about
Tola is
2
to say
years, 3
there.
years ago, you know.
The monster that they are creating.
My grandmother was married and it's more than almost 4 years now, 5 years now married past. That is how many years since 2003, 2004 I tell my grandmother these things, you know, my boy.
Tell all the fellas, man. Politics thing, you have to
You see them problem, boy, these people they blind and them man playing on the ignorance of our people, my
so
boy.
now the monster they created,
and
they
using
get
our
so big.
people to gain strength in all ways, spiritually, physically. And the boy, let me tell you, and press is a thing that powerful. Press is a thing I know to be a thing that powerful, and these people pray. These people innocent, you know, my boy. These people are so. Let me tell you something, even if you see them people like 70 years, 80 years.
Yeah, get ignorant.
My boy.
Get ignorant.
They just have that in age, but their mind, their brains not of that age, you know, my boy. They're going to still up a child, you know.
My grandmother was a very nice and long lady. Very nice and long. But, and she was in Patrick John Days, obviously. She was a strong Liberite in those days. And even when Scared was going up, she didn't even know much about Scared, but because she supported Patrick John, she just follows Scared and just like that. And forever and ever.
There's the color they follow in the year, the red, labor, the shoe, the symbol.
Blindly.
So the allegiance is to the symbol. Not even they don't care what inside it.
It's just like the pipe, you know, just blow it. All that's coming. You know what I mean? Because they like that song. So they like that color. That is the color.
Yeah, the color, then the symbol and the name, and you just have them. They don't care who's like man for the Lakers. And you check it, but see now, they get a player like LeBron and a lot of them hate. So it about, you know, it still have people that are checking, boys, Lakers, so the Lakers, but you have a few are checking, but just hate LeBron. Why you miss a coming our team? You check it, so it's about the team, not about the individuals and their philosophy and their whole, you know what I'm saying? And that is our problem, my brother. But now we need to now address it now. Like Tola said, the monster that our you know, grands and them create there. Feed that monster, and it get big. So we watching the monster and checking like, boy, that monster big. But we know, because we have the knowledge of the constitution and we understand man rights, I mean, understand what we're speaking about, I mean, know better, we know what we were taught as well as youths. And we're not going mad to tell ourselves, but what we were taught before was wrong. And them man, what them doing there is right.
So I think homeboy start off with that program where he was giving older people. Why do you think it's there for the boy start giving older people money and stuff like that?
You playing them, bro.
Because Mr. Don't know already.
This was the first set he had to gather.
Yeah, Mr. Don't know already. Those people there, they don't.
Every day I'm
just going and butter them to squeeze them more. Easier to catch them. You check it easier to catch them.
And then we the youths and them following them because our grands are
It's unfortunate that People who were born in the 80s, babies of the 80s and the 90s, and even come up to the 2000s because the 2000s still following their parents' footsteps on certain levels and can't think for their own self. I can't say. I personally, I mean, I don't born it. My queen died when I was 12, and my father's never really there. You know what I mean? I learned everything on my own. Well, I had good people around me too. Check.
Testify for that.
Always a person that like to listen to every side and everything. I might take a while to make a decision, but I'll make that decision on my own. You understand? And if it's you that influence me to do it, I'll make sure I feel comfortable about it first. And that is just how I set my mind. So maybe I escaped because maybe I didn't have no parents at the time to say anything. I had to fight it off on my own. So a lot of...
Maybe I can concur during my family because my mother died at a young age.
Yeah.
And it's with good people I raised.
Good people.
And had I not had yet to my own self, I would be...
But that's a little while too, you know. So you see those good people, let me tell you. Those good people can make you follow that same pattern too.
Yes.
But you see,
yes.
when you see you wild now, the wildness just help you out in a way too, you know. Because it's like, you cannot control my mind for me. Something you always have that kind of confidence in yourself.
Self-determination.
So they're really telling you that, but it's like you still feel like you overthinking it, and it's like, nah, they were making sense to me, and
and there's what you like wayward.
I do like
that's why I tell you.
That's what you want. They don't know. Okay, you don't to risk what happens. That's just one good problem we all have.
You don't have yourself confidence in yourself.
If you so have to go, you so have to go. And I go in so. And there's a lot of young fellas. You see them now on the street around here, but they don't have a mind on there.
Would you tell me don't say it?
Because they're still following their mother or their father.
You tell me don't say it. Because the people are saying it wildness. So all you have a prime minister and a government that is wild. So what all you need? Hunters to kill wild things. So don't say it there. Don't say it. But yeah, it has to come out.
But them man not wild.
They have to go. It's bonfire.
Them man still not wild. Them man not wild. Them man been manipulated.
That's right.
Calculating. So what kind of that is wild? That is wild. Is prey. He's setting your hunting ground. Pyro, you know,
them man was never wild.
They been controlled.
Of hunters, that
man like Anthony Hayden pressing them man button.
Them man is talking type. Them man in the street talking type, smiling type, dimples type.
Them man is just.
They just face. They put.
Pressing them man button.
Yeah, man, it's face they put to be in front of us.
Cannot stand up and be
because if we see the white man standing in front of us doing that, we know shut off. Hey. We're in trouble. What Mr. doing there? Who's Mr. But they have our own people, or people are talking to us, and the things them man telling us is not of them. The man doesn't talk like us, me and you, know.
You cannot do that.
The man has been reading thing and...
They man have to make sure they please. That's like brothers. Them man not wild. Because them man have to make sure they please Mr.
Wild people don't do that, no boy?
Yeah.
Okay, how hunters, how pack of lions, how
make sure they do that.
Sometimes they put in the perimeter, they set in the perimeter, and they run in the antelopes and them, the cantaloupes and them straight into it, and then all your fellas just.
To me, I can feel safer with a man that I know hate me because I'm a black man, than to be there with a smiling black man.
Yeah.
A man that looking just like me.
That is Tyrone, fella boy. This is what it is. These guys.
Be straight up. You don't like me, Joy?
These guys.
Yeah. You hold your side, and I say
that are dangerous.
You never see red ants inside of a black ants nest building.
Yeah.
They hold your side.
All of them is ants true, but they have their side.
Yeah.
All man on their territory.
And it's tough. It's tremendously tough for you to convince a whole heap of people that Maggie don't mean well, yeah. Maggie dangerous.
Yes, boy.
That's not right.
Your red ants building in black ants nest. You don't know after a while you don't gonna no black ants in the nest.
Anyhow,
black ants gonna have to find somewhere else.
Anyhow they were able, watch me. Anyhow they were able to have me, I say for instance Maggie, anyhow they were able to manipulate me, and it will be difficult now to convince a lot of people that Maggie mean bad to the people, because you know Maggie Maggie's our people, boy. Maggie was wrong or something, so but Maggie is no longer under his own control. He's not controlling his own mind. So you check it. Them fellas this, that happens, them fellas, and the people now is they in their head. It's difficult to tell them, but you really think the Mr. Prime Minister really want to
Maggie,
you know what I mean?
So say that there, Maggie. Let me tell you how. The men that possess the things and you possess the desire. When you desire to possess those things there, when you have it now, it take possession of you, you know. You wanted that car. Only time you're walking in, now you have a car. You don't want to lose that. Who is owning what? Is you that owning the car or the car that owning you? You understand? So it happening there.
Yeah, the power.
So when man looking for possession and they looking for people here to be turning and like to be flying in, boy, my brother, this is right in all your face. Because when a man supposed to be able to use his passion, use his gifts that God give him to build and to acquire the things and to be able to teach his coming progeny how to do that, and you're taking that away from him to possess him, to possess his fucking soul, my brother.
One thing I could tell you.
Sorry, brother, sorry. I passionate a little passionate about it. I telling you, because people looking for light to fly in it thing and they don't see it, my brother. The craft is right there. All the symbolism right there in front of them.
Sure.
While they holding on to a
they're looking
dead
for camouflage, looking for camouflage and undercover body.
They talking about salvation through Christ, huh? But they will not lay down their life for nothing. Not even for the same Christ they proclaim to have so much faith in. They will not lay down their life to die for him.
No, they want to come back and die for them again.
You check, I tell you, they're waiting for him to come back to die for him again. For them again.
For them to say, hey, and we are liberated.
They want, you know what they want? They want life everlasting, because that is what the priests preaching for them. Life everlasting, immortality. But let me tell you something, my brother. The only thing that immortal is the works you do, boss. So if you do wickedness, boy, you can be known immortally for wickedness, boy. And if you have man that build the nation, your name will live on in the nation. You check, I telling you, and people have to understand the value of those things. It's not them things. Is not just vapors coming out in our mouth, you know. When man talking about we not waging war against flesh, but it's principalities, it's those things. That is the when you're talking about the beast rising out of the sea, the ocean. The ocean is not a literal ocean, you know. The ocean is the raging sea of politics and opinions and arguments, my brother. That is where the beast thriving is, in discussion, is in debate, is in you know. But all people do ready to engage on them levels there, and unless they do ready to engage on them levels and elevate their vibration, bring up their mind to the next level from the carnal way, the primitive way.
They have to
because
build up the esteem.
that what happened with Slobby there is not justice, my brother. We and in our society will say, oh, it's a thief, he die. It's justice. It's not so. It does work. Justice have to be a man going through due process, and that is primitive the way we live in, my brother. The police have to follow procedure. You cannot break the law to enforce the law, my brother.
And to me, no matter what they do forthwith right now, it's just it don't make no, it making sense.
Tarnishing the credit.
Yeah, it don't mess up. It don't rotten already. That 100 plus days we still have nothing. You check it.
Just go away. Just like that.
No man, that is madness. I'm telling you.
You know what I mean?
So what are preventing them man from doing that to anybody?
Else, I'm telling
They
you.
just going home there and doing
That's
things.
why telling the public way to
But of course, but when I drive in home, sometimes I check in for them and they check me.
Of course.
But at least I would have died for something.
Yeah,
See that,
yeah, that's the
Fuck it.
my mindset.
Sorry.
Check.
What we have to check? Why we became a society in the first place? Why human beings band together and form society?
Boy.
Each man put his own side over there. Each man will have a piece over there. Each man will have a piece over there. Defend this piece and check like yo, nobody will come around there.
Yeah.
Reject me if he's even his children on his.
Yeah,
on his
but we have
side.
to intertwine one another.
Reject.
Yeah.
Exactly. Don't interfere with nobody.
But
Everybody
we need the
will
connection, man. I don't think
That's
human
why I
being-
say why we end up come out from that and from society. Okay? It's them kind of things we have to really look at. Because society come together for protection, for all kind of things, for growth, we check.
Yep.
Because it have those that cannot fend for themselves. They need people to look after them.
Look after them, yeah.
You check me? Right now we in a society where it doesn't care about those that cannot fend for themselves.
Yeah, true.
You check me? It's
Yeah,
like
but-
if you don't have that ability to come and speak up to a politician or come and beg a man or
Yeah.
come and do a thing for a man, nobody really give a shit about you. I tell man, every day I open my door, I just see it. You check? Because look, Jigga's right across my house. And a man living in a spot I'm gonna follow on him any day. I never see no authority come here and say, boy, I have to do something for Mr. Another man in the community, even if he's in his condition, in his state of mind, and whatever might be happening with him. That we need to address his issue, we need to address how we live in. You check, see man like memories and them man not there right then they have this market there. You check me? Them man is man that them man don't have the ability to come so and pull up a politician and speak to them and say, well, they need this or they need that. Who representing them, man? Who's their voice? You check. It have those that you check. You have the crazy people walking up and down in the road. Some of them man is a hazard to the environment, to we as normal people, children, all kind of thing. You check. Watch icing up there, smelling dirty, have the place a kind of a way. You check me.
Looking out for them and even taking their allowances.
Where, if you tell me you're creating social programs, that is where you have to start with. The helpless way.
Yeah.
That is where you
So
have
much
to
little
start.
youth man I see that's looking like they lose their mind.
Yeah, so much little crazy little youth.
That push all in
Every day we have another
But we don't have no big population. So how comes we have that high? All them things, where they research within our community to say, well, okay, boom. But how comes we have so much of a high incidence of crazy people walking all around the place? What that causing now? Why? They check how you can address that.
Everybody just like to align it on drugs, but it's not always drugs.
It's not drugs. Drugs is just a symptom of the problem. Drugs is a coping mechanism, you know. When you see people cannot deal with situations, that's when they deal with drugs. Drugs is a coping mechanism, you know. You check me?
Yeah.
And it's a thing that has been scientifically proven. So any man talking about drugs. No, drugs is a coping mechanism. If a man living on the streets, you check, but he cannot take the cold, he cannot take the thing. Have him. Most time he'll drink himself until he numb, so he cannot feel that. He'll smoke crack or smoke drugs, whatever he get. You check me? To just numb his mind, take out his mind in that situation so he can cope with that situation he living in. And never people don't realize it. Drugs is just a coping mechanism. You check. You take out a man in that situation. Sometimes, and he don't never touching the drugs. He don't even thinking about the drugs. See dancing. All time dancing well good in the market.
Yeah.
Checking his seat. As soon as he go in his state of mind where he unstable. He new tongue smoking drugs up and down, have himself. As soon as his mind come back to normal, Mr. Don't hear nothing about that, Mr. Don't to see that. You cannot tell Mr. Nothing. Yeah, from time it be like, but it's like these people, they're not looking, it's like everything is a fast, you check. The whole thing about it is just a fast because it's like, yo, the real people that need the assistance, the people that need the help, what they getting, where they getting it, they don't get no help, they don't get no assistance. See the crazy man on the street, you think he can say, well, boy, take him off the streets and put him in a spot where he wouldn't be a problem to society, he wouldn't be a problem to the community. You have a crazy man lying down sleeping on the sidewalk, liquor youths passing there. Sometimes you never know what his frame of mind can be. He can just rise up and just hold one of them and buzz them on the floor.
Yes, true.
You have man that's schizophrenic, all kind of thing, you check. So
kind of dangerous to the society.
But of course.
But they should be
Look
there.
what
They should find a way to curb it.
Yeah, what day I seen a video, a man just hold a man and start to beat him in the road, and the man telling me, Mr. The man lose his mind and crazy and that's good. The man was just rose who just fighting the people. So, I just checking, like, look at them situations.
Yeah, but do we have like facilities and stuff like that, like mental facilities to do with that?
We supposedly
Rehabilitation.
Rehabilitation in Dominica is a major issue.
And inject them and man up about it.
Because we still
They
have
have no rehab in Dominica. Dominica don't have no rehab center. It's one.
Because when I was a little youth man, I used to run there in Madman when I see the university. But it was, we were doing it for fun.
Yeah.
Sometimes we send 2 stone, we don't try and base there or anything, but we send it after them. And they chasing us, we just want to run. When somebody chase us, so we used to go after those madmen to chase us down. But when you start getting at a certain age, you stop that.
True.
And you start realizing only when you become an adult you don't realize why you was doing only when you you still laughing at them and in your 20s, you know, in a kind of way.
It's okay, guys.
When you push close to your 40s, they're checking, boy, hey, the man really have issues, and you know.
Yeah.
Then
and then you start ask yourself, how me stand up so boy?
They see a certain man moving a kind of way, they will laugh and they say, hey, do laugh that.
True.
Do laugh that. You don't know what situation the man in. You see sick people and you see mad people, you never laugh at them.
Boy.
So as I tell you, no, it's just time to break a cycle of all those nonsense. Those things within, you know. As man, I think we have the knowledge. And we should share it and not be afraid to share
and
it.
ask myself,
we know better.
Yes. And asking myself, as you're saying that, if we catch in that vibration as we're growing older and becoming of that age, so those, and that what I was saying about the generation, so they might be older than us to come to the realization to share the first then. They don't, I don't know.
That's why I'm saying only earlier on.
I mean,
man talk certain things and man say certain things, but at the end
the man don't care.
Exactly. Do some of them man actually have a conscience.
Shit.
You check, and them things important. But I remember going to say me and Brother Jimmy used to say that thing. Like your conscience during religion class, one will teach you about your conscience, and your conscience have to have certain level of information, certain level of empathy, certain level of you check. And if you do not have that as a person, because remember, you have psychopaths, you have all kind of different people in society.
Yeah, man.
For a man to function as a psychopath, you don't have a conscience. But how are you going to know that? You check. Now his actions are defining him, you know. You check. Now see, like when people talking about, oh boy, the man care and the government care, but yo, the people that truly need the help, the government not helping none of them. You check. So some of them might sit down and check like, what truly care about what? You check. A lot of things are just being done for pure fast. Man talking about, boy, that man giving eligible people $300 a month. Man, really and truly, what can $300 truly? What is $300? EC dollars. So you check. What is the minimum? And them thing is why I just say you check like where we have the discussion to say, well, okay, boom, this is the established minimum level of living. That is what in Dominica. That is what you need for you to be able to live minimum in the country. And we don't have those discussions as a society. You check. So where now we're going to say it's $300 that an elderly person would need per month. Supposing it's $800, the person need minimum. You check me? So how we determining that them thing when we do not even want to have those discussions, because before them discussion come up, oh, you're against the government, you this, you that. My youth, we can't run a country like that. You check? And then one set of man want to behave like, yo, the ideas can only come from
one head, if it's not from them, we go up and then you have them people, you have some people, my brother, who a little older, and they be telling you, you only see, but Maggie boy, I only feel like it's troublesome. Then it is what it is. It's been like that for how long we make it like that? What you know, I'm not talking like that. What man you tell me, boy?
So you don't do.
So what you just stuck on the shelf
The
then?
mentality them man have in too. It's like we meet all those madmen there.
Yes, like-
how it is. That's what they deserve. That's
So you know what that is?
Reject.
Let me tell you what that is.
You know, fixing nothing.
You see on the slavery in the slavery
Yeah,
time,
man,
them
just slavery
white
time.
boy and white, them slave masters just come and just hold man, them woman just put back shot on them and mouth just pass and just
Yeah.
pass, just go out to business. Come on, business. Hey, what you watching? Come on there. And just banging them woman and them, raping the woman and them man, big man, pass straight and just cannot say nothing. But I have those mad wild one like my partner, you know what I'm saying? I have us, the wild one.
Yeah.
That will hit you a cool most. Why you doing there? So
Yeah.
those there now, that is where that getting victimized.
Yeah.
Check me. Once you do that now, they
When
want
they, no, you see in slavery days,
But
what
we
they
in
say,
the-
you know, when they victimizing you or whatever, when they whipping you or whatever,
Yeah, man.
it's in front of
Everybody, yeah,
else,
man.
So they can say, well, okay,
Build fear in
if you
the
do
build
yeah,
fear in you.
right.
It's the same fear they building now
Yeah.
amongst other people.
Yeah.
And
In
is that
this
are you
society,
correct?
this communist
And that is why the
society.
man telling me, "But Maggie boy,
You know?
or just too well for us. Just leave it
That's it,
alone.
boy.
Put your head down.
Yeah, leave it
Continue
alone,
on
boy,
this
Maggie boy. Leave it
status quo.
alone, boy. That man telling me, leave it alone.
You don't know you have to act retarded, boy.
And yeah. So
Act like you
That
don't
is
see
really,
it.
really
right.
You have to ask, when a man tell you those things, you must ask
Man come in my
yourself some
inbox
serious
and tell me
questions.
Yeah,
is
boy.
what I saying there making sense.
Boy, you
But
mad.
to make
So we
it
live in.
dumb because you have to act like you're retarded.
I can't do that.
And what you making?
Yeah.
That is what I just gonna say, you know, when you act retarded, tell me what you making from that thing.
Exactly.
What make?
Boy,
A
I
little
tell
more
you,
salary, a little
Dominic,
more.
Pyro,
So retarded is in you smart.
you know where they see my people? Majority of our people are walking zombies. You know?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, man.
Walking zombies, living zombies. You know,
What the
boy.
people? I think I just watch it man
Boss,
for
them tell us, you see them going out, some of them going out every Friday and things, drinking and what. But don't fool yourself, you know, the drink they drinking there
You cannot sit down and watch
is
it
not
for
because of
fasting,
happiness.
see, most
The
man.
drink they drinking is because
Yeah,
of.
they don't, man.
pain,
You can see that. I mean, you can
sorrows,
see that. You see that there
sadness.
now, but that's something
And when I wake up tomorrow, boy, the only thing is, boy, you know what, why I offer me a drink, boy, but I drink that because I feel like it's the same fucking shit. And when I drink the rum, it's like, yeah, my mind in a different state.
And I can never forget,
Oh,
this
man.
just told us say that there. I can never forget that time
But you mad, boy.
I told me it was the early 2000s, you know, I can't remember exactly
Yeah,
what
boy.
time period there. But them time they are studying, come on vacation and I pull up town. And I watching this scene there. And it's like fellas are drinking alcohol like a style, you know.
Yeah, man.
Man, boy, set a young youth, man, my brother, man, boy, that man is drinking
And he's
alcohol
not
was
happy,
like
they
a
happy,
style.
brother. He's not happy, they happy.
Fellas getting up all what time, hot sun, and first thing man telling you they're gonna buy their coffee. I just can
What Chucky, for example?
No, it's true, you know.
If he's happy, happy.
And I watch them thing and I remember in them thing and I just checking like it's tormentation, you know.
Alright then.
You check because I check it. If a man know he can be productive and can do something and get where he want to get into life, he would never do himself them kind of a thing.
Slavery just evolved, boss. The slavery just evolved, boy.
Yeah,
It just evolved.
yeah.
That I see now, I checking like what I read in history about they carry them on the boat, everybody line up and things, so it just evolved into.
But me and self, everybody.
But we not
You
know
see
the-
them say-
Mental slavery now.
Yeah, we there.
You see when you say that, I always say slavery in itself never ended.
Never, no.
Me I do slavery in
No,
school and I
never.
learn about them things.
It's
And even
true.
in school, them man telling you the slave master
Yeah.
reached to a point when the sugar price went down because it was getting competition from the sugar they was making from bits in Europe and so on. Then when them man look at their cost of production, they have to house these slaves, feed these slaves,
Yes, I.
provide provisional grounds
Let
for
them
these
go.
slaves, all kind of
We let
things.
them go.
Them man
They let
checking,
them
boy,
pay for staying there.
that is a deadly cost on their
They
backs
let
too.
them pay their
You
own
check?
stay.
Because remember they have to do all that thing, still buy equipment, do everything for the farm. You check? But the price going down, the sugar price going down, so they're making less and less money. So right now they want to increase their profit margin. What they can do? Not let
Liability.
go the slaves to go and fend for themselves. Remember, you have old people there that cannot even work, and you have to take care of them.
Right. Oh, Pyro, look, you
check
say
me.
it. Oh.
Now all them ageable people and them liquor youth now that cannot work.
Yeah.
That no longer your responsibility.
Liability.
You come and work, you get your money, and you go and take care of your family.
Yeah.
You check? So now over time now, man start to learn about boy they have to put the money aside for when they get in the elder age for them to be able to fend for themselves.
And save it together in sub.
Slavery never ends. It just evolves.
Yeah, evolve. Yes,
Something
brother.
different.
That's
That man
it.
figure if they can make more money
Yes.
by allowing people to fend
Think,
for
and
themselves.
think they're free. But you're not
One
free.
way I know I
Because
live.
taxation.
It's a mental thing in Rasta.
If
Yeah.
you look today,
Right now,
if
it's
you
a total mental thing they put it
Yeah.
in.
It has always
I
been
know they
mental,
use
but
it
it's
now,
more.
their power, and
Before
for
they used to add the little physical part into
Yeah,
it.
right.
You understand? But now when they realize the physical part now will bring anarchy and chaos, they take it into the mental one.
But if it's about the level.
The physical part then a technical way.
Right, that.
where they
In
won't
a
have
technical way, where they bullying you.
Yes.
In a smart
and
way.
have to pay social
You understand me? But the major problem is
That man is just evolved, brother. It's never right there in our face.
It's a mindset, you know, my boy. And unless you see to tell yourself,
I feel like I live in
From
what I
poverty and
what I
from
what I read
slavery.
in the book. I feel it. I live in it.
my boy.
But what we supposed to do?
Why are that man? Why are them?
Remember, Dominica is a black community, right? A black island, black, people, black. What we supposed to do, right? We're supposed to, as you say, unite and make sure the all bread stay in Dominica itself. Like,
But the
you understand what I'm saying?
slave master not from Dominica. That you think? No.
He had never
So
been
he
from
controlling. You see, they just elevate our people and them in the positions there, rate all of them to control us. But the head not from Dominica. So Dominica, he don't give a. He don't care about. They don't care about Dominica.
Talking about,
They just want
talking about scary.
the resources.
Economic.
You check it.
Anthony Hayden and them, man.
Yes,
I
it's
put it
them.
carriage string.
Yes.
Chinese,
So these are the slaves. These are the real. These are the head.
But the only way a place can
See, the
develop is
Chinese,
only
the Chinese,
Yes,
the
them.
real one.
Yes,
my boy.
the only,
them.
the only way a place can develop is if the resources
Yeah,
stay in the
cooperation.
country.
Yeah, man, the people, you have to develop the people. The people in themselves, not develop. The country can never develop.
People in to do most of the. Hey, I live in Angola for a little bit. You check, and also KLM and let me tell you something now. It's there that teach me how you're supposed to love your home more than foreigners,
Yeah, man.
and you have to appreciate your home and you have to fight for your home. You understand what I'm saying? We was living there. You can ask any one of them that come up there in that time. We were living there, and those people is black people just like us, But you come there, they were born here, so they'll tell you CH and they are BH. You understand what I'm saying? Now, when you see you come in their place now, for you to get a job there, like get a work you get a work permit and stuff like that, they have to advertise the position first. You check?
Yeah.
And then if Angolians don't want it, anybody else that from anywhere for work permit can get it. You check what I'm saying? That's how it is being done. You can't just come there and just get a work because you feel like you come out and you have skills. Okay, yeah, you have skills, but with me study have that same skills too. Even though you might be less. Read him from Angola.
Yeah, priority over you.
You check? So when I see how this thing operating by checking.
We were brought here,
So I took out my notes something, and when I come back Dominica and I see the scene like how the man operating is like I start calling out people and tell them about all you realize what you're doing.
You like those comrades, those
We're struggling to stay in another different place and all you giving away all the place to people.
Yeah.
We're struggling to stay in another different
Come
place.
here.
You check? Somebody might be struggling to a Dominican, and you see that a Dominican might be struggling to stay in the next place because they don't want to come back to their second class citizen in their own home.
Yeah.
And they will stay in Dominica and laugh at the person struggling over there.
Yeah.
You check? They don't realize they're second class citizens, in their own home.
Yeah.
All the
He's a
major
second
jobs
class
has been done
citizen,
by
or maybe even
foreigners.
third too. Probably not even second, because he's second too close to first.
But
Third.
he say with no class citizen.
Yeah,
When he was
because
gone
all the major jobs.
when we were gone for Saturday, and he said straight to us, no class citizen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what kind of what is that?
No class.
No
You can't
class,
believe in
no
your
class
place,
at
boy.
all,
Little
because all
Angola
the work
sand
has been
doing,
done by foreigners, you know, my boy.
sand and I respect them for that. You check? You look at sand they have, you protecting the sand there.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You come in there and play like as if all these big shot, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, all you might know more than us.
Yeah.
But you don't come in there, you see that one thing they will stand strong by, you see a piece of sand there.
Even brought here.
You come in there and
I experienced that in Lucia too.
yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
I seen
Yeah,
here, I seen here them
Yeah,
as
do not
imported
to my
people to
boy.
come here and
That's
work
all
and
I don't know
things
to
like
be
that.
people.
But-
I
Yeah.
just go in another country
And see that.
the situation. We go in Guadeloupe, Martinique,
Yeah,
full
boy.
of Dubai. Remember? All the way I go already. Even
boy.
SM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
By
all
any
dog and
way.
cat in SM. And SM man telling you. Yeah, they don't cross no water to come.
By
here.
No
road.
bang water, no
By
bang on the
road,
boat.
anywhere, any land we go besides Dominica, and you come in these people's place for you to get a job, somebody from the country. Nobody from the country then do have to want to.
Oh,
I tell you, SM that is SM. Man.
and that
Huh?
and you see,
Yeah.
that happening, and watch me, that don't happening on just as about the land, you know, but about like us as a people, like for instance, in the music
Must
thing,
protect who we are.
in the
We
music
do
thing,
that,
you
who
young
we
man.
are. And it's again, we're in a small
I
society.
mean,
Yeah, man.
I mean, even if you don't do it for us, but you have to do it for the children.
Boy, like by the young man telling you they're going to do a jam, you know. It's Trinity and thing,
And
not
there's
even
D,
that.
man. And there's D,
And there's
man.
DA man, you know, they live in that thing and taking like it, and why? Why you not doing it? Why you don't go on it? Nobody supporting them, man. They want this ball, them, man. You check I telling you?
I just be
You do?
I can kind of tell you why it is really good to you. I might just go my day job.
Yes, but I was telling you.
I can understand why some people don't want to go day
Right.
job. Because they never on time. They still